Hey, Aaron. Hey, Aaron. That's awesome. Yeah, right now I'm playing Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I've been playing the Splinter Cell DLC. Um, there hasn't been a Splinter Cell game since 2013, so uh, it's cool to play anything Splinter Cell. So, yeah. No, I haven't checked my messages yet. No. Yeah, it's been definitely over the media about people going to church on Thanksgiving on Easter, and and then people don't want people to go to church for Easter because people could get the coronavirus. So many people are all around each other. So um, it's I think it's controversial, and yeah, I think it depends like on the governor and all that, and yeah, I think the churches should be closed. Because uh, people could get sick, and people can die, and we don't want that, and so you know, people's safety is more important, you know. Um, yeah. So I start filming. Well, not start filming. I resume filming Insane Cage of Madness uh, next week. Um, or you could say this week, because it's going to be Sunday at midnight. Um, and basically, I'm doing that two-parter thing, part one, part two. Um, and so part one can come out this year, and one of my movies can come out this year. And then that means that people will get two movies for me next year, which is cool. Uh, so you have part two next year, and then Devil Servants, and this all has to be delayed and done this way because of the coronavirus, and not really there was anything I could do or anybody can do, about this. So, um, and these aren't animated movies where they're made on a computer and I animate movies or something. So this is a little different. Um, but of course I'm, going to keep making my movies, but of course, I'm not going to make my films around a bunch of people, until there's a cure for the coronavirus or the it's not as bad as this, as how it is in this world right now. So what matters right now is people's safety, you know. But of course, I'm going to try to get something out this fall, for my channel. Um, that way, like there's something to look forward to. People have something to look forward to. Um, and yeah, but this is all just like wow. I'm doing all right. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm okay. I have that app on my phone that has that mood thing where it asks me, how I'm feeling, how I was feeling that day. Should appear like any probably like less than an hour. Um, hold on. It's just not. It's really too bad, that I can't make my films, and they were going to be made, and they were going to be done by some point in April. And then I'd be editing the movies, and this all changed that. Um, and then not only that, I can't see my family, my friends. Um, yeah, it's like even if my sister comes over to visit me and stuff, she has to wear like a mask and gloves because she's been around people where she could have it the virus. So I mean, this is like really scary time, and it's not really a time to for me to be like, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna make my next movie tomorrow, because it's definitely not a realistic thing. Uh, I mean, whatever I can do, but it's just everybody has to be patient. I have to be patient, and once this goes away, then I can go back to making the films. But yeah, I mean, it's nothing nobody can do right now. Hey, Mario Mania, 1, 2, 3, 4. How you doing? And how are you doing, Aaron? Like, how are you guys doing tonight? So this is a Saturday night stream. Um, so I'm streaming from 11 to 1. So if you guys want to chat with me till 1 in the morning, awesome. Um, and yeah, I didn't want to do like a 5-hour stream or something long. But just another like a random stream, where talk to you guys, about anything, whatever, and um, yeah, I live streamed now twice, this week because there's yeah, I mean there's not much to do. Um, I mean I'm looking for things to do, of course, and of course I have all my writing and all that and my films and um but yeah, I mean it's definitely hard to sleep and to think, with everything happening right now. What does your actors think about your movie being posted? Thankfully, everyone seems to be understanding about it because there's nothing nobody can do. There's nothing nobody can do about, you know, getting the movies made because, social distancing. So, yeah, nobody can do anything until this is over, the this virus here, all around us. So, uh, yeah, um, I'm hanging in there, hoping this all ends as soon as possible. Laugh out loud. How are you? Doing okay. Um, yeah, I'm doing all right. I mean, like I wish I could be making my movies right now. And you got, you subscribers know me, in the sense that I, love making movies. And when I'm in the filming process of my movies and I can't get them made, you guys know the struggles. Uh, so, it's almost like, oh, I thought, the process of making Halloween New Blood was bad, with trying to get that made, Oh, this kind of like, oh, wow. Hey, how's it going? What are your thoughts on flat earthers? It's from Eric Verthaler 92. I don't know what flat earth or oh, is flat earthers a movie or something? Does that mean is that a book or Jeremy? Hey, Jeremy. How you doing, Jeremy? It's cool people are tuning in on my stream. This is cool. You're doing good, Jeremy? All right, awesome. Yeah, so basically, because of the uh, no, there are people who believe the Earth is flat despite the scientific evidence. Oh, well, everybody has a right, to believe in whatever they believe in. I don't really like to talk about that kind of stuff on my channel. Um, uh, it's yeah. I don't like to get into like that whole theories and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's not what my YouTube channel is about. It's about fantasy. It's about my films. It's about movie reviews and etc. It's not about that kind of stuff. So I really don't like to get into those topics. I mean, maybe one day I will, but especially in a time like this in a world right like this right now, I don't feel like it's uh, appropriate. You know, probably feel more appropriate talking about those things when we're living in a more safe time. And freedom of expression is more. Uh, um, I mean, it's not as sensitive to people. Okay. It's a conspiracy theory, a group of people who are convinced the earth is flat. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I mean, I've heard about it, I just don't want to like go into it. You know what I mean? Uh, oh, you know that YouTuber Trent Duncan? Yes, I do. I don't know him. Know him. I don't talk to him. I'm not in contact with him, but he did, in fact. If you go to my movie, The Miner versus Jason, a Ghostface story, it's titled, in my videos, Ghostface versus Jason versus the Miner. Um, I think to confuse people less. But he commented on that movie when it came out, and he complimented it, which I thought was great. Thought that was cool because like I thought his movies were really awesome. His fan movies, like the camera quality, and you can tell a lot went into his films. A lot of the budget and the camera quality was just the most wowing factor. And times where it didn't feel like I was watching a fan film. And now, in terms of a story standpoint, I don't think Trent Duncan's a good writer personally. I think he's a really great visual director. He kind of reminds me of like the Zack Schneider to slasher films, to the slasher crossover movies, where movies visually look amazing, they sound amazing, the action is amazing, and all those things, but the writing and the acting tends to always be lacking in his films, and it's no disrespect to him. Like, love his work. It's just he definitely seems to not know how to direct, how to get emotion out of actors. And the writing seems to be, uh, I don't know, either rushed or not thought out or not developed long enough. Uh, and I think those are the only weaknesses that Trent Duncan has. Everything else, he succeeds. Um, I mean, that's my opinion. But you should make your movies like his. I'm a bad writer as well. You should make your movies in HD. Aaron, I do make my films in HD now. My movies are filmed in like 1080, 60 frames per second, and 4K. Um, Depending on the scene, they'll are in 4K format. Um, and But usually they're all filmed in 1080, 60 frames per second, and then they're edited in 2K, and then they're converted into 4K. Um, and I add HDR tools and work with HDR. The tools and everything on Final Cut to give it more of the movie look and everything like that, and make it more HD. I've gotten better as time has gone on about that, I believe. I didn't think of any of that kind of stuff, of course, when I first started making movies, but yeah, of course, now I pay attention to that stuff more. But I have a 4K converter, and it's pretty amazing. Every time I convert something to 4K, the quality is slightly better or way better, and I'm always like wowed by that. So, um, yeah, Jeremy, you're not a bad writer. Stop it. My last movie was shot in 1080, but I recently upgraded to a 4K camera. Yeah, I mean, like 4K's on my iPhone. I'm sure I'll film some stuff on my iPhone, because the camera quality on that is unbelievable. Um, and I forget about that. Like, wow, I got this new iPhone, and the camera quality is like, pretty amazing. The thing is I like to shoot my movies on cameras with the SD cards rather than on a phone personally. I worry about something happening to my phone or whatever. I feel more comfortable filming with cameras. So I have two Canon cameras I use, and they're for two angles. So a camera frame will be shot of somebody here, and another camera will be like here and filming the other person here, and it'll be filming two different sides of the room, or with the character. And I've been always been doing that. I mean, when I had one camera, I would even do multiple angles. And then what was funny was back then, before I had two cameras, and like what I can pull off now, I'd be like, oh, don't change what you did last time. Don't move your hand. Sit in the same position, stay on the same, because like, with editing, I knew with editing, you had to keep it consistent. But now with the Canon cameras I have now, they're really great. I think the quality is awesome. So, and of course, as time progresses, I'll keep on upgrading cameras. But if you guys have seen Halloween: New Blood, Double Servants, The Twilight Short, you can notice. I hope you guys can notice a change in my movies. The quality, because I think that the quality of my movies have gotten a lot better. Where I finally feel like people can really see and hear my movies and feel them, compared to back then, with the kind of equipment I was using. Um, Tell your mom and sister I said hi. Okay, cool. Don't do that. So, are you guys excited for Halloween Kills coming out and the trailer? that everyone's been talking about, Halloween Kills. You know, of course, my guess is the trailer won't drop till June because if when Halloween 2018 came out, the first teaser trailer didn't come out till June of 2018. So my guess is it won't drop till June, but I could be wrong because the movie has been in post for so long and it completed filming at the end of last year. So you know, I hear it's going to be one of the most violent horror movies of all time, which is exciting. Now bring it on, right? Bring on the brutality, bring on the gore, bring on all that stuff. You know, that was something that I really did like about the Rob Zombie Halloween movies was that they were brutal, and I like that, because Michael is very strong, and he does have a lot of aggression, so it makes sense that the body count would be very big. Um, and kills is in the title, so it makes sense. Uh, Halloween Blood is one of your best looking films, in my opinion. Thank you, thank you. That's probably because HDR it was in that movie added the cameras that were used. I even used Osmo camera. Let's see if I can have the box. Oh, here we go. Osmo. So I use Osmo camera and all that. So, like I have all that equipment. Um, You know, problem is I don't have a charger to my Osmo camera right now, so I have to kind of stick with my Canon cameras. But I'll probably get a few moments with my iPhone, but I want to mainly shoot with my two Canon cameras. Uh, I'm super ready for Halloween Kills. After the positive test screening buzz, I'm more excited. What about Scream 5? Oh yeah, I'm excited for Scream 5, but it sounds like they don't know what they're doing. The studio does not sound like they know what they're doing. No news came out that was like, "Yo, a Scream 5 is being made. Nev Campbell, David Arquette, Courtney Cox are all casted back in their roles as Sidney Gale and Dewey, and it's gonna be set in Woodsboro, a few years after the events of Scream 4, and it's coming out in fall of 2021." Like we haven't gotten that info. You know what I mean? So until I hear something like that, I'm not really gonna listen to all these rumors, because it sounds like the studio that owns Scream now does not know what they're doing, which is not a good sign, um, at all. Uh, because we've all seen that before when a studio takes over the rights of a franchise and they don't know what they're doing with it. You know, yeah. The camera I upgraded to is a Panasonic Lumix G7. It was 499. Cool. Yeah, the Canon cameras I got weren't cheap, so they're pretty good. Uh, yeah, I would hope they wouldn't rush Scream 5 either, but as long as they have a great director, great writer, great cast, and uh, yeah, anything's possible. I mean, Scream 2 was rushed, but because Kevin Williamson and Wes Craven, had a strong collaboration and the whole crew and cast, the movie got out, you know, a year after the first movie, you know. I don't know how they did it still because Scream 2 feels like a movie that was in development for like 2, 3 years. So Scream 3 feels rushed. Yet that movie came out 3 years, no, 2.5 years, almost 2.5 years after, or just a little over 2 years since Scream 2. So I almost feel like it doesn't really matter if the movie's rushed or not. It doesn't matter if the movie's good or not. I mean, there's been plenty of movies that have been rushed, that turned out great. There were plenty of movies where they took 6, 7 months to work on. Last Jedi, and other movies, for example, and it turned out awful. Um, Bizarre how pop culture is completely stalled at the moment. Has this ever happened in the country's history before? I hope things go back to normal soon. Let me reread that. Sorry. Bizarre how pop culture has completely stalled at the moment. Has this ever happened in the country's history before? I hope things go back to normal soon. Um, I don't know if it's ever happened to the country like this, and I don't know. I'm not the really person to ask that, but I hope things go back to normal as well. I really do. I'm getting really sad, more and more sad by the day of everything happening. You know, and yeah, yeah, I'll admit it. Like I get sad. I really do about this. Because you look at the the number of people that are dying every day, you know, like what's happening right now, and it makes you appreciate that you're around and the people that are in your life are around. But also you are worried, you get scared, you get worried that something could happen to you or anyone close to you, and it's a really scary time. And There are days where I don't take this too well. Um, the Man of Steel, what's up, bro? Hey, man. I'm doing all right. How are you doing? Social distancing. This will end, Ryan. Well, I hope so, because if it doesn't end, then Arbitrum 13 cannot continue then, you know? Uh, I'm suffering. The movie I was working on is longer in production. Yeah, I mean, all the movies that are delayed, you know, postponed and everything. I mean, it's happening to everything. Everything is delayed or shut down or whatever, Dude, it's killing me. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. I mean, yeah. And I think what's the worst part of it is that everyone is wearing masks, wearing gloves. Everyone stepping away from each other. That means, like, if all of us met each other in person, we'd all be wearing masks, gloves. We'd all be like distancing ourselves away from each other. We'd all be afraid we would all catch something, you know. And that's sad. That's sad that we're living in a time like that. I mean, of course, we're all as people taking precaution, being cautious and making sure that, this doesn't get worse, you know, but it's just, yeah, it's sad. Uh, we might not even get to see Halloween Kills unless it's video on demand. I know. This might be the first Halloween movie that's, at home, at digital, which sucks because it's Halloween, like, ah, you know. Our next film will be released in 2021 now, but it's all good. Yeah, I mean, I have to. Well, I mean, one of my movies already was going to come out in 2021. It wasn't going to come out this year, so that film isn't really affected by this. Insane definitely was, and that's why I'm splitting it into two movies. So part one, I mean, guys, this is my plan. What I hope what can happen. Part one will come out in fall of this year, and then part two will come out in the spring of next year, and then Double Servants will come out in the fall of next year. Um, that, of course, is the what I'm doing right now. If things change, definitely will let everybody know, of course. But that is right now the release dates. I like Scream 3, especially the voice changer. I think the voice changer is like the worst thing about the series, the Scream series, is that voice changer in Scream 3. I don't know if anybody can agree with me, but they still don't have an invention like that for the general public, and that's a good thing because we see what that thing is capable of when you see it in the movie, and it's pretty freaky. So I'm glad something like that doesn't exist, and it's unrealistic. And Scream is all about being realistic, and then that's one of the most unrealistic things I've ever seen in a movie. But I respect your opinion, though. Um, I like Scream 3, especially the voice changer and Jason. I hope Halloween Kills doesn't go video on demand. Oh, it doesn't go on video demand either. You know? Yeah, I know. Just the thought of it is like, wow. I'm optimistic things will be better by the summer. Well, that's good. I hope so too. I definitely hope that there's a change, by the summer. Um, because I mean it's sad. I mean it's never this quiet where I live. You know, only time I ever hear any noise is sirens. So it's pretty depressing, when you hear nothing but sirens, and you know why you hear sirens. So it's yeah, kind of makes it even more disturbing, more sad. The whole thing. So also just realize this. You realize Devil Servant in 2018, right around Halloween. If things go as planned, the Devil Servants will come around. Halloween ends in 2021. Oh well, that was the plan already, Jeremy. Devil Servants isn't coming out till uh, fall of 2021. Um, Insane Cage of Madness was supposed to come out this fall, so that's why I'm discussing the change of making it a two-parter and having part one come out this fall, and then part two come out next spring. So spring of 2021, and that way, some of any Arbitrum 13 content, any next movies, whatever, can come out this year, and people didn't have to wait so long after Halloween New Blood, for another film of mine, and it's not like people would have to wait 10 years, kind of thing. But when you have a YouTube audience, a lot of people, they get impatient, and I think about those people a lot, the impatience level, and that definitely makes everything more pressure. Everything feels more, I feel more under pressure by that. um but that's a lot of the reality. So I have to um make sure I get content out for you guys, not too um you know not too long, you know um you know uh, yeah, it's like, are you guys willing to wait, for Cage of Madness to come out in spring of 2021, or do you guys really want to see a film of mine, this fall? I mean, how long can you guys wait, and all that, because there's nothing I could do about this, the coronavirus. I mean, not really anything I could do about this. So I'm kind of like in this, like, what do I do? Kind of situation. Um, and how to please you guys and all that. Uh, I feel like I can't do anything. Yeah, I feel the same way. I know I was pointing out that you're releasing The Devil Servants around the same time that another Halloween film is coming out. Yeah, that is cool because, Devil Servant came out right before Halloween 2018 came out. Yeah, that is cool. Did you like Bates Motel? No, I did not like Bates Motel. I did not like it. I did not like it. No. Do not like that show. Oh. So is Easter really tomorrow? Like, can you believe it, guys? Tomorrow's Easter. you know, I know the crazy D4E87. You can already tell that that's a troll. You know, in my 10 years on being on YouTube, I can just tell immediately when someone's a troll or not. I actually forgot it was easy. It was actually forgot it was Easter until someone told me on Thursday. Yeah, I mean, because we're all living lives, differently than um, how our lives were before the coronavirus situation. We forget that Easter is like tomorrow. You know exactly. If no one told me it was Easter, like yesterday or something, or a week ago, I would be like, I wouldn't even know. Jesus shall return with his shotgun and eradicate the alien menace. Oh God. And it's only trolls that talk that like antisocial, you know. What's your favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie? I'd say the original and then the beginning, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning. And not trolling, I said glory to Russia and Ukraine. Of course, trolls will say that they're not trolling. Make you think that they're not. These are some of the most antisocial people on the planet. How do you feel about Spiral? I don't know what Spiral is. Sorry, sorry, Jeremy. I don't know what Spiral is. What that is. Spiral is the new Saw film. Ah, I didn't even know about it. What's your most anticipated movie coming up soon? Oh, that would be Halloween Kills for sure. Um, yeah, Halloween Kills. With Chris Rock and Samuel Jackson. No, no, I haven't seen Spiral. I didn't even know that was a Saw movie. They got Chris Rock and Samuel Jackson to do a Saw film. Is that what you're saying, Jeremy? Chris Rock went to Lionsgate and they loved his idea. Ah, okay. Well, I'll definitely have to check it out. So, yeah. I used to be the biggest Saw fan, watched every film in theaters. Yeah, I saw the I saw, you know, um, I saw 3D when that came out, but I was too young to see the other sequels and movies. But I own the first one, and I love the first movie, and and I like how the third one ended. And I sort of wish that the Saw series would have ended with the third film, um, and it would have been a trilogy, because I feel like the series ran out of gas after the third film. But obviously, they were successful with, you know, the you know but I'd rather them release multiple Saw sequels in the theater every October than, Paranormal Activity or, like, any all that supernatural stuff. And I think we're getting way too much supernatural horror as well. If you guys you wanna agree or disagree with me, we're not getting enough, like, monster movies, slasher films, stuff that isn't such supernatural, or thrillers. Where did thrillers go? You know what I mean? Like, where did, like, thrillers go, you know? Like, that's lacking, you know? Uh, Spiral looks good, Ryan. Okay. So is Spiral a movie that's coming out? Chris Rock is producing it and starring in it. The trailer is out. The movie was supposed to come out in May, but due to COVID, it was. Oh, okay. Well, I think if anything, Saw, they'd wait to release that in October, because that's where the series would make its money. Bad idea to release it in May. Um, a lot of people say Saw went on too long, but I honestly didn't ever watch too much Saw movies. Yeah, honestly, just watch the first three, and you're not really missing out. I mean, maybe watch the last one. So, like, watch the first three films, and then Saw 3D or Saw the final chapter, and then disclude Jigsaw. I mean, I know some people liked it, but uh, what Jigsaw reminds me of? Leprechaun Origins. It's like that bad. You know what I mean? It's like that bad. Kind of prequels, sequel, whatever. Or that Leatherface film that came out, which was horrible. No, wasn't that horrible? I mean, everybody talks so bad about the Texas Chainsaw movie that came out in 2013. I thought that was good. I saw that in the theater, and the 3D was not bad. And then no one talked about how awful the new Leatherface film is. I mean, no wonder they're remaking Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because that was a horrible movie. Uh, with the supernatural genre, I've actually kind of enjoyed The Conjuring. I want more psychological horror films, honestly. Yeah, more psychological horror films. Now, the insane movies, guys, are psychological, horror movies. They're not so much on gore and the body count and the kills and or anything like that. It's about psychological torment and that kind of stuff. We need more thrillers that have a story and good characters and good character development. Because no one cares anymore what's happening unless the characters are interesting. You know, so horror movies have to the slasher genre, the slasher films have to be, of course, the way they used to be, but I think more focused on the characters than they once were, but not over dramatized. More simplistic. More like just real life. Than over Hollywood dramatized kind of characters. You know what I mean? You don't want characters at Camp Crystal Lake to feel like Hollywood actors. You want them to feel like people, you know, that are in the forest. That could be wiped out by Jason. You don't want them to be, that was a problem with the Friday remake, was that those people felt like, Hollywood people. They didn't feel like the characters in the original Friday 13th movies, where they felt like actual people. Um, Get Out and Us are perfect thrillers if you're looking for a thriller. Yeah, I've seen Get Out. Yeah, that was good. Get Out was really good. That was good, and I didn't give it a chance when it first came out, but that was good. Speaking of Leprechaun, I watched the fourth one for the first time ever last night. Haha, wow. Yeah, it's pretty entertaining though. Leprechaun in space. I think my favorite Leprechaun is the second one. I love the scene when Leprechaun is at that Irish bar and he's drinking, you know, and even though when he gets, like, so drunk, he can still use his magic powers and stuff. That was so cool. Um, so I did like the second one's called Leprechaun Returns, I think. So I did like the second one, the most, for the first 2 films. The ones after were kinda like, yeah. I mean, it's cheesy to see these slashers in space, but at the same time, it is kind of entertaining. Um, but now they've done it. Like Leprechaun, Jason, uh, I mean, damn, can you imagine Freddy Krueger in space? I mean, the ideas that people, you know, uh, you know, uh, these movies that people would not be would they don't they wouldn't want them to be made, but people would still pay to see them and watch them though, because it would be entertaining at least. But like to think of Michael Myers in space, and like, you know what I mean, Leatherface in space, like, Pinhead in space, Candyman in space. I mean, think it's like, you know, uh, with the supernatural genre, I've actually kind of enjoyed The Conjuring. Yeah, The Conjuring is the best stuff that's come out of the supernatural horror movies lately. Is The Conjuring? I will say The Conjuring is great. I will not deny The Conjuring. It is actually really awesome. Um, I hope we see a new trend in horror in the 2020s. Although the 2010s produced some great paranormal psychological films. Oh, hey, Aunt Connie. Connie Smith. Hey, Aunt Connie. Hey, Aunt Connie. Uh, Leatherface was terrible, dude. Yeah, it was terrible. The Texas Chainsaw 3D gets too much flack. It does. It's not bad. I mean, it has a couple moments it could have been like, a little better. But I was honestly very surprised by the amount of people that didn't like it, you know? Um, I love you, my nephew, Ryan. You are so right. Laugh out loud, real. I love the ones that make me feel like I'm losing my mind as well as the character. That's what freaks me out the most. Well, definitely I'd recommend the Insane movies that I've made, and I hope you look forward to Insane Cage of Madness. Might be a two-parter. All I know. I hope you enjoy those. They're very psychological, more so than slasher based. Um, yes, more realistic. Hey Ryan, did you ever watch the Child's Play from 2019? No, I haven't still yet. I haven't watched Child's Play remake. No. And you know what? I watched the original the other day. I watched the original. I'm so against I was so against that remake. I still haven't watched the remake, because I would have made those videos if you go back to my 2019 videos. I would have made those videos about Child's Play and how mad I was about it. I mean the remake, you know. It, if I will, I don't just, I'm not going to talk about any movie series and go get that mad about it. Like it has to be something that really affects me, you know, and growing up with the Child's Play movies and Chucky and all that, it just made me really mad, especially like when they announced the Child's Play TV series. Now I think they're calling it Chucky, and it's going to be on not Sci-Fi Channel, but it probably will be. Um, but Brad Dourif is doing the voice and all that. Like, I'm excited for that. It would have been cool if it could have been called Child's Play, the TV series. I think that would have been pretty cool. I think that's cooler title than Chucky. But I'll take it over what that Child's Play remake was all about. Um, right, yes, but I wouldn't want to see it space. Okay, love you. Well, love you, Aunt Connie. Um, I'm glad that you're on my live stream. This is so cool. It's always awesome when family members are on my live stream. Um, you know, then I get to talk to everybody live. I get to talk to my fan base. I get to talk to my family. I get to talk to everybody all at the same time. It's really cool. I think the reason people play sorry. I think the reason people pay to see bizarre films like space slashers is because they're so ridiculous, almost quirky, like Sharknado. Yeah, it's like the Sharknado films, horrible, horrible movies, but are successful and they make money, surprisingly. Um, probably that would happen. Michael Myers in space, Freddy Krueger in space, Pinhead in space. Nobody would want to see it, but people would would see it though. You know, um, if it was like Robert Englund and his last installment as Freddy Krueger, Friday, a Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger in space. We'd all be like in space, but we'd all be like, all right, we'll go see it for Robert England's last, stand as Freddy Krueger. Like, all right, maybe there'll be some couple good moments, but we're all gonna go into it like, yeah, Leprechaun 4, Jason X. Oh, here we go. You know. um the Child's Play remake is not great, but it's fun. Well, more power to you if you like that movie. I'd watch Michael Myers in space. Michael Myers in space. I mean, if anything Halloween, yeah. If it's Michael Myers, I think honestly, with the fan base, even though Season of the Witch has gained a more rapid, it has got more popular with people, and I hated that movie as a kid. I actually like it now. I actually watch it every Halloween, with all the other Halloween films. I actually don't exclude it. In fact, I watch every Halloween movie, even Resurrection. Because even if I didn't like that entry, it's Halloween. Um, Now, I guess that's what you call a diehard fan. Someone who will sit through the crappy sequels, because they love the character so much. I can't even do that with Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street. More so with Friday the 13th, I can sit through certain bad ones, but Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X I cannot watch. And then Nightmare on Elm Street, when it gets to 4 and 5 and 6, I can't. Like after Nightmare 3, I'll skip to New Nightmare. And even New Nightmare doesn't even hold up as well as it used to as well. Like I would say Freddy versus Jason is more of a Nightmare on Elm Street movie than a Jason movie, than a Friday 13th film. It definitely feels like another Nightmare movie, and it definitely feels like another Nightmare on Elm Street sequel, which is why I think it should be in the Nightmare on Elm Street Blu-ray collection than the Friday 13th collection. Well, hell, it should be in both because it's both characters. But if they were to choose, that's why I was surprised it was in the Friday 13th box set. When I got the Blu-ray box set back in 2013, I was very surprised that it was included. I was thinking, oh, I'll have to wait to get the Nightmare on Elm Street Blu-ray box set to get Freddy versus Jason, but no, and I was very surprised by that. uh, Robert Englund technically played Freddy Krueger again not long ago in an episode of the Goldbergs. Well, yeah, but like I want him to play Freddy Krueger again in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. I don't want him to play Freddy Krueger in something. Unless I mean, if it's a slasher crossover like Freddy versus Pinhead, which actually would be pretty awesome. Come on, guys, Freddy Krueger versus Pinhead because of the supernatural stuff, or Freddy Krueger versus Candyman. If he was up against like a slasher villain that has supernatural elements, I think it would be more interesting, and I think you could do more with it. And now magic and powers and supernatural stuff is way more popular than it's ever been. So if they did something supernatural with Freddy and Pinhead or whatever, it would be a hit, you know, and people would be cool with it. Uh, I love Halloween Resurrection. Yes, there's a small amount of people that do love Halloween Resurrection. I hate the Rob Zombie remakes. Well, that's your opinion. I personally don't hate them, and H2, Rob Zombie's H2 is one of my favorite horror movies. I think it's one of the most underrated movies of all time, but a lot of people hate it. But I've heard the hate of this movie since I saw it back in 2009. So Halloween Resurrection is the absolute worst of the series, in my opinion. Yeah, it is the worst. It is the worst because Halloween 3, like, even though Michael Myers isn't in it, like, at least it has great score by Alan Howarth. It's produced by John Carpenter. I think John Carpenter did have involvement with the music. You have cameos from the original actors. Um, Tom Atkins was good in it. Uh, the movie had a lot of atmosphere. It was filmed well, and it had a very shockful ending that made you feel a certain way. Now, I can't say that about Halloween Resurrection. Um, it set up a more exciting movie that Michael Myers would wake up in a morgue, and go on a slasher spree at a morgue. I mean, that would have been a cool opening of a Halloween sequel, but you know, um, H2 has grown on me a lot over the years. Yeah, yeah. H2. The thing is, it's like, I don't know. It was definitely ahead of its time when I first saw it. When it came out in the theater, and when I watched the DVD. Um, it never a horror movie has never gone into like PTSD like that. You know, uh, where it's gone into the mind of like the trauma, of a character, of like what they went through. And I don't think really the series ever got it right too well. Like anybody that would go through something like Michael Myers would be going bonkers, So the Laurie Strode in the new one, like the Halloween 2018, the fact that Laurie has basically been that way for 40 years, thinking that he's going to come back, and she's created this cage, and is teaching her daughter how to use a gun, and how to be prepared for the boogeyman that's coming. I mean, that was more interesting than, oh, I fake my death, and I take all these pills, and I'm acting like I have my shit together, but I don't. It was much more realistic in Halloween 2018. Laurie's story, and then H2 with Rob Zombie's Laurie. Uh, that she was. What's interesting about it is Laurie in the first remake. She's just a regular kid that's babysits these two kids one night. Scout Taylor Compton pulled it off as just playing a regular teenage girl, and you believe it. And I think people really digged the third act of Rob Zombie's first one. That people were hoping that the second one was going to be more like that. And I think because he went a completely different direction, people were mad about it. And I think if H2 had been like the original movies, I don't think people would bash on his. I don't think people would bash on his remakes as much. But Rob did his own thing, but I liked what he did, and I love the hospital opening, and all that, and of course, the first like 20-30 minutes of the movie, where it picks up where the last one left off. I thought that was really cool, and the movie doesn't shy away from certain things that many horror movies or movies in general would. So I did like that about H2. And I think it made a lot of people uncomfortable and unsettled, that movie. And so I think a lot of people will jump to bashing on it because it is such a heavy movie. Um, it's definitely the most unique of the series. It also has gorgeous imagery. Yes, it does have gorgeous imagery. A lot. It was shot in 16 millimeter. I love that, uh, and it is definitely the most unique. The opening is incredibly shot. It is. They know that grainy, I can't wait till we get like a 4K. Can't you guys? Can we? I cannot wait, guys. Can you not wait till we get a 4K of like restoration or transfers of all the Halloween movies? Like we get to see Halloween in 4K, like the new ones in 4K, and it looks awesome. But to see the originals in 4K, and like yes, the originals in 4K, but if we're talking about Halloween 2 and Season of the Witch and Return of Michael Myers and Revenge of Michael Myers and Curse of Michael Myers and H2O and Resurrection and the remakes, we haven't gotten those in 4K. And it'd be really cool to see them in 4K because um, probably we'd notice things that we'd never noticed before because the quality improvement. Um, but all in time, everything's going to become 4K. So you know, uh, the problem is being too unique and being a sequel. It still has to capture the original sense, and to me, it didn't. That's why I didn't like it. Well, that's how I felt about The Last Jedi, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. So, everybody has their own opinion, but that's literally how I felt about Last Jedi. Um, yeah, yeah. Thanks, Aaron. It's great you guys are all in, and you guys are talking to me in this live chat, this live stream. Grateful you guys are all talking to me and we're all having a conversation. This is cool. That's all I was hoping for was that I could have a fun conversation with you guys. Yeah, well, reason why Disney Star Wars saga feels off is because the creator isn't involved, and that's the problem. You know, um, Whenever they're gonna do anything with Lord of the Rings, yes, Peter Jackson did not create Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. It was Tolkien. We all know this. But in terms of we're talking about the live action perspective of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and how we saw it. Not everybody liked the Hobbit films, but are can can they make better Lord of the Rings movies than what's been done? I mean, Fellowship of the Ring and Return of the King, and like these are such great movies. Like I can't think of that they could do something better. You know, I think the best thing that'll come out of the reboot of the whole Lord of the Rings stuff is that they'll be able to extend the book chapters longer. They'll be able to go into stuff in the books longer than they did, in the original movies. But yeah, now I wish they could have done the Silmarillion, you know, over what they're doing right now. But anyway, um, yeah. So the Disney Star Wars movies, it depends on which one that I'll either love or I'll really like. There are some Disney Star Wars films, one in particular, Last Jedi, that I hate. Rogue One was okay, uh, and I think of any other that I'm like. I really liked The Force Awakens. I really did. I didn't love it, but I really liked it. Um, and I like The Mandalorian. I really like The Mandalorian. So I mean, I haven't been like disappointed by Disney, but The Last Jedi definitely uh hurt Star Wars. And Ruin Johnson says that he knows that he ruined Star Wars and he doesn't care. So, had Ruin Johnson not have done 8, if it would have been a filmmaker that really gave a crap about Star Wars and the continuity, then this would have been a very much more constructed, consistent trilogy. Um, but because the filmmaker of 8 hated everything that was done in the previous movie, nothing was going to get anywhere. Uh, how do you feel about the Weinstein stuff that was going on? Did you hear he got in? Like, yeah, I heard about that stuff. Yeah, it's just I'm so tired of hearing about it. You know, hopefully he's put away forever. Because of what he's done, and then we never hear about it again. It's just hate reading all this stuff in the media. It's just um. Did you see where Jamie Lee Curtis was announced for The Mandalorian season 2? Really? Jamie Lee Curtis? Wow. Rogue One and Mandalorian are the best they've made. The new Clone Wars season is also good. Yes, yeah. Uh, yeah. I mean, I was very surprised by Mandalorian. I really like the Mandalorian. And it's so awesome. And as the story goes on more and more in the episodes, it's just like it's so good. You know, Almost feels like Disney reboot of their own work with Star Wars. It's like they're kind of starting all over again. If you think about it, with the Clone Wars show and the Mandalorian, with this Disney Plus, maybe this was their intent because maybe they knew how much they failed, with their previous you know stuff, or Last Jedi hurt, you know, all this that much, you know. Uh, do you like old horror movies pre 1960s? I love the old monster films. I love the monster movies from the 50s. You know, if that's what you're talking about. I love Psycho, the original, and it was what Night of the Living Dead came out in the 60s, if I'm correct, 1960s. So there was definitely was known in the 1960s that horror movies were going a certain way. But I'm more encyclopedia about 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 10s horror movies than the 60s. First time I heard about Peeping Tom was Scream 4. You know, so yeah, because the 1960s was a long time ago. Um, Disney Plus is amazing. Well, yeah, Disney Plus is pretty cool. Uh, did he own Scream stuff, the Weinstein, so he owns it now? He owns the Scream rights again? Are you serious? There's no way. There's no way that that Harvey Weinstein owns the rights to Scream and stuff. There's no way that he owns the rights back. There's no way. That would be absolutely insane. There is no way. I tried to watch. I couldn't really get into it. It's definitely an acquired taste. Laugh out loud. This is funny. Who owns the rights now? That was I was oh I actually don't know who owns the rights to Scream, but what I do know is they don't seem like they know what they're doing. uh, hmm. Yeah. I know I'm horrible when it comes to horror movies back in the 60s and stuff and 50s. Certain horror movies that were first of its time to, you know, before Halloween and all that, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Exorcist before those all that came out. I'm just not good with 60s facts. Jeremy, would you ever think in a million years you would say, I want to go back to work? You know, some of you can you guys believe, oh, I want to go back to work. I want to go back to my normal life. I want to go when a lot of people, they work at their job and it's like, oh, I hate my work life. If I could just stay home and do nothing. you know, my family thinks I'm obsessed with Scream. Well, I mean, I love Scream. I mean, like it's if that's what you like, that's what you like. I think the problem is that it's too late by time I try to watch it if I keep dozing off. Uh, I love my job, so yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you love your job, then it's different. Yeah, I think, you know, yeah, yeah. Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is technically the first horror film. It's really quite good. Hmm. So you guys need to send me links to all this stuff. I am not good with these things. um, you know, if you guys can send me a link to my Facebook message or Twitter message, I don't know what, and just be like, hey, this is a link to the IMDb page of this movie. This is where the information about this film is. Be very helpful, guys. but I know I have to uh, take matters in my hands. Okay, so the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Let me save that. Oh, my Calm notification. Hold on, sorry. Okay. Uh, I gotta save that in my notes, though. Okay. So, first horror movie. I'm gonna title it "First Horror Movie Ever Made." First horror film ever made. Okay. So it is called um the Cabinet of Dr. Uh, Caligari? Cal Caligari? Or- Okay. Well, I have that saved, so one day I'll have to look that up. right? I miss the customers yelling at me, telling me their lane is broken. I work at a bowling alley. That's what I meant by lane. Ah, I miss customers yelling at me. You're so funny, Jeremy. I work at grocery store. People keep wanting to buy bikes. It's been busy. I work 4 days in a row. It sucks. I like my job, but it's busy. Well, yeah. Well, that's cool. You like your job. I don't like too much rap music. I like some, like like I'm not like against listening to rap music. Like I think there's a little bit of rap that I like, but it's not my first choice of music. But I bunch of people that I've been around my whole life and friends I've grown up with love rap. So I've heard rap and mostly I've heard rap music through my friends when they play music or whatever. Because yeah, I don't have like a big rap playlist, but there's some rap I like, but yeah, not like a lot, but yeah, just a little bit. Uh, you can watch it for free anywhere since it's from the 1920s. Okay. Is it public domain? Like, is that something that you'd want to see in one of my movies, like in the background? Remember when I did that Assignment Terror? I don't know if you guys remember that Ghostface versus Jason. Do you remember Assignment Terror? I was looking for public domain films, and I was like, well, what am I? How am I gonna do this? How am I? What movie can I put in this that's not copyright? So I don't have to run into, oh, this footage was in the movie or whatever. What's public domain? Uh, it's not easy to find something that's public domain and make it work. Um, I find I like a lot of Japanese style horror for whatever reason. Cool. If you like horror movies and metalcore, you would like Ice Nine Kills. Okay. Do you like Eminem? Oh, I really don't like that question. I'm sorry. Oh, I don't want to answer that. I really don't want to answer that. I really don't want to answer that question. Um, uh, love J Har. I watched Audition not long ago. Okay, I'm still in junior year of high school, so I'm just happy I get to stay home. Yes, it's public domain. Have you had any copyright issue now or not? No, I haven't had any copyright with any of that stuff. So yeah. Okay. Haven't heard of that one. I'll look into it. Number one fan, Ryan. Yes, Aaron. You say that every time. I know. Thank you. Appreciate that. No, no, I'm doing all right. Doing all right. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? How's your Saturday night or very early Sunday? Midnight Sunday. You know, Night going. Happy Easter. That's right. Oh my God. It's Easter on my live stream. It turned into Easter on my live stream. That's never actually I've never had a live stream where it to be turned into a holiday as I live streamed. It's never happened before. I didn't even think about it. I really didn't even think about it like that. Wow, that's cool. I'll put in the message. Happy Easter, Easter, everyone. Okay. Yeah. Happy Easter, guys. Happy Easter. Going to get my cam Cadbury eggs. Be right back. Laugh out loud. Okay. It just seemed like every month is a holiday. Well, yeah. I mean, I think pretty much almost yeah. Every month has a holiday in it. There's Valentine's in February. There's either Easter will be in March or April. It always swaps every year. Um, and then we have 4th of July, in July, and then um, there's well, of course, Memorial Day, Labor Day, Martin Luther King Day. Um, we have many, many Halloween, November. Halloween, Thanksgiving, uh, Christmas. You know, the New Year. Plenty of holidays. I am returning to work on May 4th, but who the hell knows? I know. Everyone's like, yeah, yeah, we're quarantined for 30 days. Let's see how long. Yeah, see how this will go. It's so funny how everybody is like, this isn't, everyone is just like expecting the worst, you know? It's sad though. This is really sad though. Yeah. I just can't even believe this is all happening right now, you know? Like it's like a dream, you know? It's just, it's something that you would have I had a dream last night that there was a virus that spread all around the whole globe and it killed half of the population and I almost died and and a lot of people almost died and they had no cure for it and oh god, like this sounds like something that would be in a movie, a video game, or be in one of my films, you know, is definitely something that would not happen in real life. I mean, we've had the swine flu and etc., but nothing ever like this, where it's been this extreme, you know. Um, I know it came from China. Um, what is your favorite season minus fall? Uh, Fall. Yeah, fall and winter. Fall and winter. Yeah, I'd say fall and winter. I can't wait to get my taxes next year. Good for you. But I told my boss, "May the 4th be with you," and she said, "Wow." You told your boss, "May the 4th be with you." That's funny. She didn't find it all that funny, but but she snickered. That's funny. I wonder if there are going to be new iPhones this year. Oh, I just got my new iPhone like uh 3 months ago, I think. 3 months ago? It hasn't been too long. Yeah. I just got my iPhone. It hasn't been too long since I've had it. And it's the new one. It's this one. And this was the only color that they had available when I got it. But it's the new iPhone. Yeah. Don't you just like love Apple packaging? It's my favorite. Okay. It's iPhone 11 Pro. Yeah, is what I have. The iPhone 11 Pro, and it's pretty amazing. Quality is unbelievable. The camera quality, I can watch movies in 4K. It's insane. The quality is absolutely phenomenal. In fact, it's like better quality than my 1080 flat screen. Or even my 4K computer, or 4K not 2K MacBook. My iPhone is the best quality of any of my devices. It's pretty funny. The smallest screen is the best quality. Um, yeah, and this is my iPhone right here. So you guys believe my iPhone? I have an iPhone. um, I upgraded every year. I've had iPhone since 3GS. Cool. Yeah. I didn't have an iPhone until I was mm, it's like 16, 17. It's like 15, 16, 17. Yeah. I didn't really have like my first official iPhone till I was about 18. 18 or 19 is when I had my first iPhone. I think I was 18 or 19. Yeah. Now, if anybody's wondering, I was born in '95. I'm 24, so I was born in a time where there was none of this technology, and when I was a kid, I didn't think that times were going to change. Um, I didn't think the world was going to change, like at least like lot in terms of the technology level. I didn't think that so much would be like like voice command kind of stuff, and and that we would tell things to do, all these devices we have, and people communicate with each other less, like in the outside world because of these devices, and that's what's makes me sad about the amount of technology we have now. Now, of course, we do all communicate right through social media, like this, which is cool. I would never be able to communicate with you guys like 20 years ago, like this. Um, so uh, I'm definitely grateful. But Yeah, I mean, definitely it was different when I was growing up. People were around each other. People would hang out with each other more. It was like there's real friendship back in the day. I remember friends were friends. You know, uh, yeah. Um, how many iPhones do I have? I have one. Well, there were two. Well, there's one that I don't use anymore. That didn't have really any gigabytes on it. Didn't really have much on it. It was the first iPhone I ever had. Um, and I have that one, but I don't really use it. And then the new iPhone. Yeah, the the Pro. Um, but yeah, because I mean, I'm not all about like, oh, I want to get the next iPhone, and uh, I'm more excited about getting the next video game or next movie or next TV show season or next computer, next editing software that'll come out or something, or I don't know, other things, than just like a new phone. I feel like there's more exciting things. Um, no, don't post your number on here, and do not give your number, please. No, no phone number. I remember you got the MacBook Air in 2012, and you were in Best Buy saying how happy you were. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. You remember that? You remember that? That's right. I FaceTimed you, Jeremy. I no FaceTime, yeah, or something. And I was like, "Oh, I'm in the Apple store. I'm getting my MacBook Air." That was like the biggest deal for me. Uh, and then I made a video for my YouTube channel. You guys can go back to my 2012 videos, or go to my iMac. I think it's in my iMac MacBook playlist, but I would recommend my 2012 playlist, um, where it's in there, and and basically it was so cool because um, when I got the MacBook Air, it was like the backlit keyboard and all that. It was so cool, but I remember it came a point where I just didn't like the size of the screen. I thought 11 inches was too small because like I edit my films, and like what I have now is a 21-inch iMac, and I need a screen that's tall enough, big enough to be able to see what I'm editing, see what I'm working on, and yeah, I can't edit on an 11-inch mm, computer, laptop, unless that was like the only device I had, which it was at the time. But yeah, I didn't have the best computer then. I've had, in terms of MacBooks in the past, I've had about now we're not including the ones I have now. I mean, the one I have, well, the MacBook I have now and the iMac I have now. That's two for right now in my life. Now, before this was, and this is, of course, has time. This wasn't all at once kind of thing. This is just like throughout my life. Uh, four, yeah, four, four. Hello, the Joker. Cool YouTube channel name. The Joker's my favorite villain ever. I love the Joker. And rest in peace to Heath Ledger. His birthday was April 4th. If the Joker, if you've seen the Joker blogs, 4479, the patient number, they took that Heath Ledger's birthday date, 4479. I think that's so cool. And I dressed up as Heath Ledger's Joker when I was a kid. When The Dark Knight came out, I made videos. There's like a YouTube channel that I have that's like old that I don't use anymore called The Young Joker. And it's videos of when I was a kid making Joker videos as Heath Ledger's Joker. You know, my father. Like I can still do the impression of Heath Ledger's Joker. Probably better than any of the Jokers. Joaquin's is a little easier than Jack Nicholson's, and Mark Hamill's. Like their kind of Jokers is much more difficult. For me, the Arthur Joker or Heath Ledger's Joker, which are my favorite Jokers. Um, they're much easier to portray, at least for me. I think because they're more humanistic, is why, and why I'm more connected to those scenes and why I can act them out. Uh, so, um, you got me to like Apple. Oh wow, I sold you on Apple. Cool. I didn't even try. I remember when Heath Ledger passed away. It was a very sad day. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. It was like, whoa, he was 28 years old, and they were showing trailer footage of The Dark Knight, and they were still in post production with it. And apparently, he was a big part of, um, the future of DC, what they were going to do with all the films, the characters, because of course, what they were doing is what Marvel was doing, which was like, creating like a big DC world. Um, and Heath Ledger was going to be, I think, the front and center of that. And I think because his passing, why they kind of had to start over, and why the DC films kind of like, took a wrong turn, after the Dark Knight. It wasn't until like Wonder Woman and Joker, recent films that have come out where it's like, all right, DC's back to the way DC should be. You know, it's been a long time. So Joker was a very satisfying film in the theater because it reminded me more of what DC, how it should be live action DC movies. Maybe not all, but a lot of, like, in terms of like if we're dealing with Batman's villains or certain characters in DC. It's yeah, it was done so well. Um, okay. Uh, how's life treating me? It's treating me okay. Life is okay. Um, yeah. I mean, it could be better. I mean, I would love to be making my films right now. I'd love to be on location or on set. Not, of course, a literal set. My words of like on set, because I turn a house into a set or something. But yeah, I wish I was on location or on set. And making the movies and entertaining, being able to, knowing I'm getting all that footage and being excited to edit that footage and, get movies out for, my audience. Uh, it's all postponed right now, and I can't even see my psychologist. I have to Skype him. Well, the word would be Skype. It's some other app, but yeah, it's depressing. You can't, like, I can't see my family, my friends. It's a really depressing time. And you know, I guess we'll all get through this, but I'm a very morbid person, and so I'm definitely not the person to go to for help with life and things getting better. Because I'm always a person that will say to you, life is going to get nothing but worse from here. It's never going to get better. It never gets better. Life has never gotten better. It always gets worse. Just accept it, and look for the good in that bad, because that bad isn't going anyway. It isn't going anywhere, you know. Not that's life. That's life. Joker. Um, don't let people get you down. Well, no. I mean, if I let people get me down, I wouldn't be making movies still. You know. Yeah, I wouldn't even be making films um, right now. I wouldn't be in post. I wouldn't be editing. I wouldn't be writing. I wouldn't be doing any of those things if I was very down on myself. I mean, I am down on myself, but being in therapy, making movies, all helps with that. It helps with battling those things. Um, it's always a struggle, of course, and having PTSD does not help. Um, and I think that was probably the trigger that had me one of the biggest reasons why I made movies. Of course, not only because I love movies, but probably because of the PTSD, certain events I went through as a kid. After I went through all that, I was like, what do I do? What do I do with my life? What do I do now? Uh, and I just decided making movie. I just decided to make movies, and just hope that would you know people would like it, and be able to make movies for a long, long, long time. Um, I honestly did not know what else to do uh, at that time. Um, and it's helped me get through a very dark, a lot of dark times in my life. Uh, so, and honestly, I don't know what I would probably do without you two, without my movies, without you guys, without uh, um, being able to write, without being able to edit, um, not being able to do those things. Um, yeah. So that definitely is great. Um, do you want the Zack Snyder, or do you want the Snyder cut of Justice League? Yeah, I really do. Fans have been wanting the Zack Snyder Justice League cut since the movie came out. And actually, I haven't seen the Justice League movie. I refuse to watch it until the Zack Snyder cut comes out. And if it never comes out, then I'll just never watch the movie. But if the Zack Snyder cut comes out, I will watch the movie. I always had the habit, bring stuff up in the past, just move past is the past, that is the now. Yeah, it's not that easy, Aaron. It is. If only it was that easy. I'm here for you. Thanks, Aaron. I really appreciate that. Ryan, how So, oh, message retracted. Okay. Ryan, how do you cast your films? Good question. Either these next two movies right now that I'm working on. Well, it seems like three since Cage of Madness is going to be a two-parter. Um, uh, Basically, when I was a kid, I would ask my friends from school, to be in my movies, and some of them would, some of them wouldn't. My sister would get her friends from school. My mom would get her coworkers, her friends, um, and that's basically how the process went. Now, when I got older and I got out of contact with so many of my old friends, um, my sister, my mom have kind of taken over with getting people for my films, and it's been mainly my mom. I have to really thank her because she gathers everybody. It's either her friends or it's her coworkers or friends of friends that she knows, and she'll ask me, well, who's this character? What's the character's name? How's this character like? The personality. She wants to know more of just what the character's personality is like, and how the character has to act and what the character has to do in the film. And I'll tell her, and then she finds people that are suitable best for the role. And then, I see them on set, or we all have a table read. I meet them, and I talk about the film, and then I kind of take over where I direct them, with the scenes, and that's the process. Um, yeah, it goes pretty well. My mom and I, and my sister, we all have really good collaboration with my films. It's been pretty awesome. Struggles along the way, when family works with each other, but we've have made some, great work, and they've been amazing support. Had a lot of amazing support from people, and especially you guys. So for those interested, Ryan will be coming on my interview series very soon. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Jeremy, I sent you that message. I was like, "Oh, all right, I'll do your podcast thing." I mean, why not? Oh, sorry. It's wonderful that your family is so supportive of your passion. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's cool, because not every family is supportive, you know, about someone's work or whatever, like, probably, yeah, there's times where I don't even realize how lucky I have it, how like what I'm able to do, because not everybody's able to do, and not necessarily they're not able to do what I do. They just don't have the accessibilities, you know, and I'm grateful that I have all the availabilities to make these films, and that's why I'm making as many as possible, you know, so I can, really build a resume and have a lot of films on my channel for you guys to watch forever. I want you guys to watch my movies for forever, and that's why I want to make so many movies, or why I've made so many movies. So that way, it's not like you're just watching five, or two movies, your entire lifetime. You have like 20 movies to go through, or more than 20 films. Uh, so hopefully, and of course, I'm not asking you guys that's the main movies you guys watch, but I hope you guys can, go back to my films every once in a while and rewatch them. And if you guys do, and you guys change your opinion about one of my movies, or like you spotted something you didn't notice before, feel free to put it in the comments section. Even if the movie came out 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago, I'm always down to read comments of what people think of my film 10 years later. Like, did people's perspectives or opinions change? You know, um, yeah. Uh, I've never acted in Ryan's films, but helped with post production. Anyone that is working with him is lucky. Oh, thanks, Jeremy. That's nice of you. Yeah, yep. Jeremy has been one of my crew members with my films. He's been kind of the post production crew member kind of guy. The person that will help with credits or if something with my footage. Someone needs someone to hold on to my footage. Uh, um, certain stuff. He's definitely like the post production helper. Um, so that's cool. Uh, I've been up 2 days in a row, Ryan, so excuse me if I'm rude. Well, definitely try to get some sleep, Aaron. It's not good to be awake more than 2 days. Go to my videos back in 2010. Remember the micronaps videos? I'd recommend to go to those. The Night Realm Street. Go to my micronaps test videos, and you'll see. I would keep myself up for like 3 days straight, and if I wouldn't make it to 3 days, I would, if I fell asleep, I would try to stay awake another 3 days, and I would try to stay awake another 3 days. Like, I really messed up my brain by doing that. That was like not good, and I was 14. It's not a good thing to do. It's not a good feeling when you don't sleep. It really is an awful feeling. I mean, if you go a day without sleep, I think that's a little different. But even a day without sleep, it's just like, nah, because you need that energy. I don't always like to sleep. I don't want to sleep. But sometimes I mean, yeah, I mean, you gotta sleep because and thankfully there's no real Freddy Krueger. So we don't have to worry about Freddy Krueger in our sleep. You were leaving a great legacy. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. That's really, really great to hear something like that from someone. Thank you. Because that's all I want to do is leave behind a great legacy to people. Leave behind good work, good films, good content, and for people to remember me in a positive way and not in a bad way. I would really be sad, if I was like on my deathbed and like the world hated me, you know. I mean, that's a really scary thought. You're dying and people hate you. You know, um, so if I hope that well, even if I do go out on a deathbed, I mean, hell, I mean, I might die in a plane crash or something worse. I mean, anything's possible. You know, but nah, um, uh, I of course just want to be remembered in a good way where people are like, yeah, he was, Ryan, he was a cool guy. He made good movies. He loved film. He entertained people. He didn't really bother anyone. He just did his own thing. He was a cool guy. I just want to be able to people to remember me like that and not in a negative way. Uh, you know, because that would suck. Worst thing is to be remembered, as like a bad person or someone that people didn't like for some reason. You know, uh, the longest I've stayed up was 48 hours. Yeah, but I've stayed up longer than 72 hours before. Now, last time I did that, I was 14. When your deathbed, if you're in a hospital and I come see you, don't be mad if I steal your cookies and nurses bring out. That's funny. Those are my cookies. Did you ever tell your mom, sister about me? Well, I've told my family about my fan base, and and just you guys in general. That you guys are all very supportive of my work, my films. I mean, just like my passion, my art. So I pretty much just have said to my friends and family in general, that I have a fan base and I have subscribers, and they're really cool. And you want to watch one of my live streams? This is what they've said, kind of thing. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much how I've told my family or friends about you guys, is just you guys in general, all as a whole, my subscribers. I met your mom once over Skype call when Destiny was in production. Oh yeah, it's funny. It's true. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Yeah, we're going back to 2012. Wow. The thing I was making the Destiny films then. Wow. I wonder if I should do like a 10-year something for the Destiny films. I wonder if that's if people would like that. I mean, if anybody doesn't know, I'm coming out with a documentary for Arboretum 13 in 2022, uh, and it'll include interviews and all behind the scenes of my films, and it'll go into a bunch of stuff that been gone into in these over 10 years, 10 plus years. So I have a lot planned. As long as I don't die from the coronavirus, then this will happen. Uh, hey, Zach Barton. Good evening. Good evening. How you doing, man? I remember when I first stumbled upon your channel, and it was during the build up to Scream 4. Your excitement was contagious. I know. I was so excited for Scream 4. It was I was insane. Yeah, I was like, Scream 4. It's gonna come out April 15th, and I'm gonna be there first in line, and I'm gonna react to the trailer. Hey guys, I'm react to the trailer today. I'm gonna react to this trailer. It's a new TV spot. Sydney's in it. I was losing it. I remember when that movie came out. I was losing it. You guys go back to my videos in 2011. Was losing it when Scream 4 came out, because the original cast came back, and it had so much of the old films vibe. It was like I was like, this is really happening. You know. So when I saw it in the theater, it was one of the most surreal things. Now I will say what that movie did miss, what was lacking more than anything, was cinematography. The lighting was pretty bad in that film, and also the music. Even though it was the same composer, and he did create some new exciting themes in Scream 4, especially I think it was I forgot it's called Sydney something. But when Sydney's talking to Jill and she's telling her, um, she has people she cares about and all that, and you start to see their relationship more. Um, he did create some good themes, but um, we didn't get the old some of the old themes from the original movie. We didn't have the old Sydney theme, Sydney's Lamet. We didn't get the certain tracks that were very that were in the first three movies. That connected with what was going on with Sydney, and to not have that music, something was lacking there. And I've seen fan edits where fans included those tracks, and it so shows that those songs could have been in the film, and that was wasted opportunity there. So hopefully with Scream 5, I hope they can at least bring the music back, and that Scream music. I don't want to hear anything new. Not, I mean, of course, I want to hear new music, but I want to hear a lot more of the original music. You know. Uh, um, I remember when Revenge had to be re-edited almost last minute. Yeah, Revenge of the Ghostface went through. That was probably the worst editing experience I've gone through with any of my films. Was Revenge of the Ghostface. That's definitely the worst, or one of the worst. Yeah, yeah, that's probably the worst. I'll put that at number one. Everything's good. Just finished up recording my podcast. Cool, Zach. You have a podcast? You have to send me a link to that. Scream 4 had too much of pop soundtrack. Yeah, well, it didn't have enough Scream music. I miss those days. 2011, 2012 were my best years. Yeah, well, it was actually even more simpler time than now. If you think about it, 2011, 2012, it was actually pretty chill compared to now. You know, nobody was wearing masks. Theaters weren't shut down or weren't being shut down. In fact, how many movies were in movie theaters? You know, during then, uh, Netflix wasn't even as famous as it is now. Back in 2012, 2013, 2011, 2012, I was in high school. Um, uh, that's when, of course, the Xbox 360 and the PS3 were the front and center of console gaming. I mean, that was a long time ago, you know, but it feels like yesterday. It really does. Yeah. But at the same time, yeah, was a long time ago. Yeah. I remember 2012 a little bit more than 2011. Yeah. I remember when your MacBook got stolen, then you got a new Mac, and then look at you, better equipment and software. I know. I mean, yeah, it's like I got my MacBook stolen, but then I did get new Macs and better software. So it's kind of like I still miss my old MacBook, but at the same time, you know, now I have kind of better equipment, so it's not as depressing. I remember I had Netflix since 2014. Yeah, I'd say when I first got Netflix, mm, how was I? I think it was 2015. Yeah, it was like 2015. I think it was 2015. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm a very Blu-ray DVD guy. Like I have a lot of DVDs and Blu-rays, so I didn't really wasn't all about the digital stuff. Now I had a Vudu since 2013 that I used before Netflix, like movies where I'd enter my digital code, where I would rent movies on there. I remember using Vudu a lot, but then I remember starting using Netflix more. Um, but I remember having a Vudu account or I still have a Vudu account, but yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I didn't have a Netflix till way later on. I think what so many of us didn't join Netflix, until 2015, and yet they were shutting down Blockbusters in 2009 and 2010. 2010. That's sad. You should do a movie collection video during this quarantine. I'll think about it. I'll definitely think about it. Um, I'll have to think about what kind of collection video I should make. If you guys got any ideas, let me know. Post in the live chat. Any movie collections you guys would like content you like me to make. You're all digital? Cool. Well, I'm half digital, half Blu-ray, half DVD, half VHS. I collect Blu-rays as well. That's cool. Blu-rays. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Blu-rays are the best, because you have the cover art and the disc, and then it comes with a DVD or bonus features, the commentary and all that. You know, there's stuff you get out of a DVD and Blu-ray that you don't with digital, you know? The only format I don't collect is Laserdisc. Laugh out loud. Yeah, yeah, and apparently Laserdisc actually was really good quality, you know? I've seen some videos where Laserdisc was, like, better quality than VHS, way better. But I think because the discs were so big, VHS won with the competition. Because even though, yeah, VHS wasn't as good quality, it was, you know, it was less space. So I only have two K. I only have two 4K movies. I have about 11 or 12 4K movies so far. Because I mean, remember, guys, this is still just the beginning with 4K. Like it's going to become the norm eventually. Um, More so, I think when the next gen consoles come out because they're requiring 4K TVs. You have to have a 4K TV, and I don't have a 4K TV. So if I got any of the next gen consoles, I couldn't play them. So once that becomes the norm, when 4K becomes the norm, um, then everything will be 4K, you know, and there'll be much more. People will own a lot more 4K content, and then we'll look at 1080 as you know, as like how we looked at DVD, you know, when Blu-ray came out. I used to collect Blu-rays, but my Blu-rays got stolen, had to rebuy them. Sorry to hear that. I only have Halloween 1978 and Halloween 2018. Jeremy, you're a Halloween fan, right? Come on, own more of them. uh, oh, you're saying on 4K. Okay. If then I'm in the same boat. I only own the original and the new one in 4K. Yeah, because those are the only ones that are really available in 4K. You know, which is too bad. I would love to own Halloween 2 in 4K, Return of Michael Myers in 4K, H2O in 4K, the remakes in 4K. You know, it'd be even interesting to see Halloween 5 and 6 in 4K. You know, the quality. Yeah. I only have Halloween 2018 on 4K. I don't have 4K TV either. Yeah, yeah. I mean, not everybody has a 4K TV yet, you know, and some people think that everyone has 4K TV. We don't. Not all of us have them. Some of us got some pretty good 1080 flat screens, you know, like 10 years ago or 5 years ago, you know, and nobody thought that that 4K was going to become a thing or that there was going to be something past 1080, you know. Oh, Aaron, even if you go all digital, I mean, you still can't get the Halloween movies in 4K, and uh, yeah. So I have all Halloween films, including a steelbook of Halloween. That's awesome. That's cool. I have a 4K TV, 4K TV, but I got it with part of my taxes. Well, cool. Good for you. You got a 4K TV. That's awesome. I actually want to get a 4K projector uh, instead of a TV, honestly, because you know the movie theater experience isn't so much the way it used to be. You know, which is sad. And so I want to be able to kind of create my own movie theater experiences, you know, at home in the way I can do that, and you know, and to experience it because That's my favorite way of viewing things is through a projection on a screen, than through a TV screen. Uh, so especially they say, oh, AMC theaters is shutting down. I'd rather get a projector than a TV, honestly. Um, the movies you buy all digital are the same as Blu-ray. Well, yeah, well, not every movie on Blu-ray is available on digital, though, and not all movies on digital are available on Blu-ray. You gotta pay attention to that. AMC Theaters is filing for bankruptcy. Yeah, yep, sad. I still can't believe that. You know, I mean, I'm glad to hear that no other movie theaters are closing down. I mean, I couldn't imagine no more movie theaters. I really could not imagine that. That would really suck. You know, I mean, the movie theater experience, like it already was. It's not the way it was when I was a kid, where you could, bring a toy lightsaber into a theater and people wouldn't freak out. And you could dress up and people wouldn't freak out. Um, you know, the movie theater experience isn't like it used to be. And yeah, it definitely is sad, but would be even sadder is to lose movie theaters in general, because then there's no way that any memories can be created, you know. Um, so that'd be too bad. Hmm. Yeah, I miss going to the movies too. It's really too bad that movie theaters are shut down right now. So I'll probably live stream for another 10, 20 minutes, and then I'll get off here. Um, I've been talking for really a good over 2 hours, longer than I thought I was going to talk, because I didn't even know if anybody was going to join the chat. So this was really cool. So I'll still stay on here for a little bit, because I don't want to just get off randomly. I don't like to do that where I'm like, okay, guys, bye, and just end the chat. Like, I don't like to be so random. It's kind of rude, you know, to your fan base. They deserve a proper "I'll see you later." Well, I'll definitely be doing a reaction to Halloween Kills trailer whenever that comes out. Um, you know, and I'll definitely be reviewing more movies, but yeah, there's not really anything out that I feel like is worth reviewing right now or that I'd want to review. So whenever I review a movie, it's when I have to like really want to review that movie. So the silver lining is that when things reopen, people hopefully won't take the lifestyle for granted and savor it more. Yeah, like maybe us people will be more, hello to each other, in public. We might be more like, hello, how are you doing? When this whole virus goes away, we all actually might be more communicative. We all might, like almost like, I don't know, maybe we all had to go through this for us people to communicate with each other more, than we used to. I mean, a blessing in disguise. I don't know. I don't know when you call like over 1 million deaths a blessing in disguise. Um, keep your stream so I can watch it. Cool. Yeah, I'll keep my stream. Yeah, but I like that. The silver lining is that when things reopen, people hopefully won't take the lifestyle for granted and savor it more. I like that. Like, I hope so too. Yeah, that people will appreciate things more. Yeah. This quarantine will improve mental health for a lot of people since they can't see people or go anywhere right now. Yeah, like since everybody had to be isolated from each other for so long, everybody will go to each other like, I want to hang out with this person. I want to hang out with this person. I want to go here. I want to go here. Because people were like in cages. You know, cage of madness, insane cage of madness. Is that what this is? Are we living in insane? We're all in our homes and can't go anywhere. You know, losing our minds, talking to ourselves. Yeah, I will say the insane movies will get more popular after this. I will say that. This should be a wake up call for people. Yeah, probably. Insane cage of bad, insane cage of COVID madness. There is a parody. Ah! Sorry, that's a good one. That's good. Insane cage of COVID madness. There's the parody film. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna give like a lot away about Insane, or I mean Cage of Madness. And now that it's a two-parter, I really don't want to give much away. Uh, but characters like Bradley from the first film, he's in the movie. His story continues, and then there's a batch of new characters. And I would say to my audience, um, to not go into it expecting a typical slasher film. It's not. These aren't slasher films. Um, they're on a psychological torture element than violence. Like killings. It's. I mean, it definitely has like action, but it's done in a different style. It's more psychological. It's about betrayal. It's about betraying trust. Um, not really knowing uh, um, who your friends are, and if they really truly care about you. It goes into a lot of psychological things, but I don't want to, really, spoil the film or films. I never even thought that this would even be two films, but yeah, yeah. You guys put in the comment section, uh, do a two-parter or say wait till coronavirus, till this like goes away to make more of the film that you were making before this happened. I actually would like to get opinion from you guys. Um, if what I'm trying to do is a good idea, or if you know, you guys are like, I don't know, I don't know. Simon Rex could produce it. Is Insane Cage of Madness going to be age restricted? Um, age restricted. Yeah, probably. Any of my next like films that are horror, will be age restricted. So if I make like a fantasy film, like I did that Twilight fan short, or I do something that's outside of horror, maybe it'll be more in the PG-13 grounds, um, and it won't have to be age restricted. Um, so I think it depends on the movie, and these next films I'm working on are very dark, and I would not say they're for kids. And I don't want a kid to see it. I don't want any kids to get traumatized by watching it. My films, can get pretty dark and pretty heavy. And as my filmmaking progresses, I get darker and darker. My films get darker and darker. So they're just not for kids. And, you know, I'm losing views and stuff like that, because of the whole, children's policy thing, where, you have to make, your videos age restricted kind of thing. But I will say it has hurt my channel a bit. Um, but I still have you guys still have an audience. It hasn't changed. So I remember I removed quite a bit of videos last year that I may worry that YouTube would say this or say that. I wanted to, in terms of like someone being in charge of my channel and someone has to be on top of this stuff. I made sure I was, aware of what was going on because I don't want to ever want to put my channel at risk, you know, because what do I do then? Like there's no other platform like this where I can stream video, like on this level. Like, come on, you know what I mean? So this is where I'll get the most responses from people, the most voices I'll hear. Um, I can't wait for your movie. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to my films. Yes, I'm looking forward to the next films I work on. Can't believe I've been talking to you guys for 2.5 hours now. It goes so quick. It goes so quick. So I guess I didn't really get any responses from you guys. You know, part one, or wait. You know, part one or wait. There's a lot of questions I have for the interview. I cannot wait, Jeremy. I've never been on a podcast thing before, so this is gonna be pretty cool. Um, and yeah, definitely feel honored, that I get to be interviewed. No, I haven't been asked to be interviewed by anyone, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, only reason I got quiet is because I'm just waiting for responses from you guys to say, okay, all right, maybe I'm not making myself clear enough. My apologies. I am making Insane Cage of Madness a two-parter because of the COVID-19. So I can release part one this fall and I can get part two out in spring of 2021. But if I don't make a two-parter, it'll just be one movie, but people will still have to wait till spring for my next film, possibly longer, because Devil Servant still has to come out in October of 2021. And so, should I do the two-parter and then make a super cut, like a director's cut thing, or should I wait, and let just see how things get better and then resume what I was doing. Like, what do you guys think I should do? And Do you think the two-parter is a good idea? And I hate to even ask this, um, because it wasn't a something that I intended. Um, but I don't want to make you guys wait long, and I don't want to make myself wait long. I grew my hair out like this for the role, and my long hair has been driving me crazy. And yeah, so I'm just really just trying to figure out what I should really do, and getting your guys' input is always helpful. Um, I wish I could tell you guys more of the story, but then it would spoil it, and you guys would know exactly, you know, everything. But if I were to make it two-parter, still would be good. Would still be awesome. You know, I would still make sure that they were good movies. But also, if it was one movie, you know, that would be good as well. Um, but yeah, yeah. I always planned for another movie after Cage of Madness, though. But yeah, just wanted to get your guys' opinion on that. If you do a two-parter, then you should release it later as one whole long form video. Well, I don't know what would be the point of doing a two-parter. Oh no, never mind. I'm sorry. I read your comment wrong. I apologize. Okay, so if I do a two-parter, then I should release it as one. Yeah, I agree. I agree. How's Nolan? I don't know. I don't know how Nolan's doing. I agree with Jeremy. Okay, you should do podcasts on your channel. Jeremy, should I put your podcast on my channel? I hope Nolan is doing good too. I miss Nolan. Too bad where I live they don't accept pets, so I kind of had to have Nolan be watched by other people and not me, because I he couldn't live here. So kind of had to say goodbye to Nolan when I left Wisconsin, and I came to move out here to PA. So my cat is in Wisconsin. He is in the Midwest. I hope he's doing all right. Yeah, I miss him. I still remember the day I picked him at the Humane Society, and I remember asking to if I could hold him. And I remember I held like a couple other cats, and I remember when I held Nolan, I was like, I when I he felt so warm and so cozy, and like just the way that when I was holding Nolan for the first time, uh, I just knew he was my cat. I just knew. I just knew. And I could just tell that he liked me. And I remember being scared that someone else was gonna buy him at the Humane Society. So I made sure that my mom told, that was the cat I wanted. Um, and we came back. I remember my sister, and I all went there. I think it was like a couple days, or it was a day later, and we got him. And it was one of the greatest moments of my life was when I got Nolan. And I remember we had him in this box. They put him in this box He was already neutered, and they put this ear thing in him. Um, and Yeah, and I remember my dad being so mad when my mom got the cat for my sister and I when she got Nolan, and he originally was named Paco at the Humane Society, but then um, I named him Nolan because of Christopher Nolan. He was my favorite filmmaker at the time because of The Dark Knight, Inception. I was like, I want to name him Nolan, so so I gave him the name Christopher Nolan. Um, and When he was a little kid, he was so cute because he would roll around, he'd roll on me, he'd roll on Cassidy. He would he'd cuddle with everybody, and he'd make like this like sound like when he'd like roll around. It was so cute. Yeah, and I saw him grow into a cat, and and it was always funny when he would look at himself in the mirror, and he would think it was him, and he would do the paw thing. When cats look at themselves in the mirror and they think they're looking at something else or something. Sometimes he would just like jump up the wall. And I remember he would scratch on my door, everyone's door. We ah, we'd all be sleeping at night, and he'd be scratching on the door, meowing because he wanted to come in the room. And there was nothing. Sorry. There was nothing. So we would let him in because he would nonstop meow and scratch on the door all night, like until we would open the door and let him in. And then once we'd open the door, then he would stop meowing. But if he and then you'd let him in the room, and then you go to sleep. Ah! And he starts scratching on the door, trying to get out of the room. And it's like, you wanted to come in here, now you want to come out. You only came in here for like 1 minute. What is this? I remember that. I remember my sister being so annoyed by it too. Like my sister would have like a bunch of stuff on her door, drawings, this and that, and no one would just on everything, and then she would I remember she'd open the door. And, there's nothing you could do. Either like no one would have to come in the room for a little bit, or you'd have to be like, "No, no coming in the room." But there was no stopping no one. He would just run in the room. He would not listen. He's very indoor cat. Very sweet. Uh, Not many cats give kisses like they lick. Um, but he would actually like lick everyone's like hand or something, and it was so funny. Um, and He was just it was yeah, he was a fun cat, and I remember I'd come home from school, and I'd cuddle with him, and anytime where I would have to, you know, cry, get a cry out or anything, I'd be able to hold him, and I know that he wouldn't judge me. It's like, like your pet, they're not going to judge you, whatever's going on in your life. So you don't feel as alone, you don't feel alone. When you have a pet there, it definitely makes you feel better. And no one being there always made me feel better. Not having a pet is really depressing. Um, no one was just a really great cat, and I used him as like the one of for my intros for a long time. He'd be a logo for my movies. You know, um, but I had to say goodbye to him when I moved out here to PA because yeah, uh, they don't allow pets here. So yeah, never was too happy about that. Um, Yeah, it sucks. That was my baby. That was my baby. So I just hope he's doing well. And yeah, it's too bad he can't be in my videos. Like in the background. You make like that face, like "What you doing, Ryan?" You know, kind of thing. Like that's in the past now. Like never. I'm not saying I'm never ever gonna get cats in the future. Or dogs. But yeah, Nolan will always be my favorite pet that I've had. Aside from, in terms of no, my favorite cat. My favorite dog would be Bugs, the dog I had when I was a kid. Um, so yeah, my favorite Bugs and Nolan. And those are the only two pets that I've had in my lifetime. Uh, but great, great pets though. Um, so far, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you. So for the interview, can I ask questions about Jester? Of course. Oh yeah, I would love Jester questions. Because nothing's in the works for Jester. I don't think people really care. Nobody has been requesting Jester movies. So yeah, I can't really. I would love to talk about it, but definitely things changed after the second movie. I just did I knew where to go, but at the same time I didn't know where to go. Oh yeah, and also I didn't want to continue the story for certain reasons, and it wasn't because so much the story. Uh, it's personal reasons, extremely. Um, you called him Paco November 3rd. Yes, I did, and call him Paco November 3rd as a tribute to what his name was at the Humane Society. I thought that would be cute because that was his original name. Because apparently he didn't have a name. When the Humane Society got him, they named him Paco there. I remember I remember when you did unboxing videos, your dad would interrupt you. Yeah, he would. He would interrupt me. It's pretty sad. I remember one idea you had for it. Yeah, I had ideas for Jester. I didn't just have one idea. I had brace yourself. I had like a Disney Marvel MCU outline for the Jester series because it became my favorite uh, series when I was working on the first two films. Um, there was going to be Jester's Revenge, Jester's this, Jester's that. It was going to be different Jester movies. Um, and then Jester's Origin. There was going to be at least I said there was going to be seven sequels after the first movie, and I know. So I wanted to make a total of eight Jester films. So like my ideas went uh, all there, and I had like a huge story outline of where the story would go, the movies. I mean, it was exciting. The ideas I came up with. And they were of course all going to be like in that like 6 minutes to 15 minute range of runtime because they're short movies, so it was going to be like 8 films. So I always intended to make multiple Jester movies and all that, but it's some things that just went on behind the scenes, and think people went their own ways, and it just didn't happen. Just these movies didn't happen. Um, and I'm grateful that the first two movies are there, and people can see what my vision for that character Jester, like like the kind of slasher that he is and stuff. So glad people can see the films and see what the slashers that I've done. But uh, Yeah. I mean, I thought about it for a long time, I really did, but there came a point where I kinda just, like, threw away the towel with the Jester series and walked away from it. Just was like, "No, I don't think I can do this." I really don't want to, make more installments. I'd rather leave it at where it's at, personally. And if so, I wouldn't wanna make it now, you know? And I don't feel the, like, "Oh, I wanna make it," or anything like that, kind of vibe. So, um, no, of course, never say never, but I do not see really ever me making an insane not sorry, I do not see me making another Jester film. So, I didn't mean to bring it up. How you and your dad getting along now? Asking personal questions. Thank you, Aaron. My dad and I have a complicating relationship. Um, Gestures this, gestures that, and to cap it all off, those gestures. Yeah, it was gonna be gesture curse. The curse of gesture, or gesture. I was trying to do gesture something. That's why there was gesture returns. Next one was gesture's revenge. Um, and I just had to keep coming up with gesture this, gesture that. So, have you had ideas for films that came to fruition? Have you had ideas for? No, it's okay, Aaron. It's all right, Aaron. Have you had ideas for films that never came to fruition? Yeah, Slice and the Jester movies. Uh, Slender Man. By the way, guys, that actually was going to be a movie I was going to make, a fan film, Slender Man. Uh, that was actually something I was going to make. It was going to be called Slender Man the movie, and it was going to be way better than whatever Hollywood made. Um, but because of like what happened in real life, and that was actually a city that I grew up in, a town I grew up in. I think it became too personal, where I didn't want to make a movie about Slender Man because I just I yeah, it didn't feel good. Like I didn't feel right about it. Um, came up with the idea in 2011 when the Marble Hornets came out with all those entries videos, which actually that's still the best Slender Man stuff I've seen on the internet, is the Marble Hornets to this day. And then they stopped. The entry stopped, which was lame. Um, but as long as it's done right. But like the thing is, Slender Man doesn't really do anything. So it'd be hard to make a film where the villain doesn't do anything except stand there, and the closer you get to the villain, the more sick you get, and more almost like he's a virus. You know. Uh, because we come near him more and more, you come near Slenderman more and more, you're gonna be coughing, and you're gonna pass out, and wake up somewhere else. I mean, it seems like this kind of stuff that Slenderman does. He doesn't really attack you, you know. Uh, so it was definitely gonna be something like that, where the closer you get to him, the more sick you get, the more danger you're at. Shots of him, like, looking through the window, like with like he has no face, and it would be very clear. I'd have a lot of scary shadow shots of Slender Man, where it wouldn't be so much supernatural. It would look so like just like eerie hallway shot in the shadow. Oh, would have stuff would have been great, but that was something that I scrapped with Slender Man. Now I'm sure you guys would probably still love to see that, what I intended for a Slender Man flick. But another was a Nightmare on Elm Street fan films. I want to make Nightmare on Elm Street movies, but it's so hard to get someone to play Freddy Krueger. You know, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like, do I got to play Freddy Krueger? You know, but then I'm too young to play Freddy Krueger. Even with makeup, like my voice has got to get uh deeper. Like I got to get older. To play a character like Freddy Krueger. Um, so of course I'd hire somebody, but I would need the right impressionist to play Freddy Krueger, and that's always the problem. Why I haven't made a Child's Play? I wanted to make a Chucky movie. The thing is I can't get Brad Dourif to do the voice, or I don't know anyone that can do Chucky's voice. It sounds just like him. So without that, I couldn't make those films a possibility. Um, Slice was basically a story about some ninja guy that slaughters people, and he does it like in a ninja way. So it'd be like Splinter Cell, but mm, more manhunt level. It would be yeah. It was just something that I just didn't think worked at a certain point anymore, and yeah. And of course, I have plenty of ideas in my mind. Like I have a lot of movie ideas that I still like intend to make, and there is no stopping. But of course, I will run into those moments where, oh, I want to make this movie, but it's not possible. And it's hard to accept that. It's hard to accept. Okay, that film can't be made. I have to come up with something else. I have to make this movie instead because I have more of the accessibility for it, or this or that. So it's a lot of compromising. So making movies it's like almost like you're like it's being in a relationship. It's you have to consistently put in the effort, and you can never have that moment where you slack off, or anything like that with making movies. You have to consistently be there, you know. Truly, you have to be focused on it, and it is not easy, but it's fun, and the most fun element that comes out of it, knowing what your guys' responses are going to be, that you guys will like it, and what it'll mean to you guys, and reading your comments, seeing the likes, knowing that what I did was it was for some reason, it wasn't just to do whatever. Um, so those gestures is definitely one that could be made. Those gestures, you mean like multiple gestures? No. Oh, I could get a stunt actor to play Jester, but I don't really like to replace stunt actors from the past, because they brought something to that role that no one else could, or like, by a certain point you can't see someone else playing the villain. Um, but I do the voice of Jester. I've always done the voice of Jester. I remember having to deepen my voice on GarageBand back in the day, and then I would include that in the Jester films. You'd hear my voice, and it would be very dark, and you couldn't even tell that it was me, which I thought was actually pretty awesome. Nobody knew that the Jester's voice was my voice. Um, that was actually a cool thing. I mean, the thing is also I didn't come up with the costume. Like if I were to continue anything major with Jester or anything else, like I'd want to like contact the company of the costume, and be like, I wouldn't know what to say, you know, and that's why I like to something like Insane. Where I create my own costume, my own mask, my own character, where I can start from scratch like that. Um, because like not all the original movies I make, the masks that I use or etc. are original. So even if I did a Jester movie at some point, I would have to change the mask, or change something of it, you know. Um, so those are things that I have to think about, and that's always a Oh, ooh, kind of frustration. Uh, did you ever watch Scream TV series? My favorite episode was the haunt. Oh, you talk about Goosebumps. Okay, you ever watch TV series Goosebumps? My favorite episode was on. Yeah, I love the Haunted Mask. I'd probably say that that's my favorite with Stay Out of the Basement and Night and Terror Tower. I really like that one. I like Haunted Mask too. Um, Where for the Fever Swamp. But I think my favorite ones are Stay Out of the Basement and the Haunted Mask. I think those are my main two favorite ones out of the Goosebump uh, episodes or specials. Specials were always my favorite. Because the specials were always better than the regular episodes. It seemed like the directors put more effort, the writers put more effort into the specials, and I think that's why they were better. Because the regular show was just kind of like, yeah. I mean, it was cool for its time, you know, but the specials were like way better than just the regular episodes. Um, And I just remember that as a kid, the VHS, whatever you do, stay out of the basement. That to me was like more frightening than the haunted mask. You know, it's just the idea of like these two kids seeing their parent in a way that's not their parent. You know, uh, was was definitely goosebumps. That was chilling. I would love for Stay Out of the Basement to be a live action Goosebumps film. I think that would actually be like the best live action Goosebump movie because it would be so simplistic, but it would I think it'd be a great film. If you get like a actor to play the dad and you get like the two kids and their dad is like not who he is and who he used to be, and they're confused, and then they find the plants in the basement and find out the real dad is held captive, and because he was a scientist that created plants that with human DNA and all this and that. I don't know, I mean, I think something like that would be pretty interesting. um in terms of like a live action Goosebumps film. I really don't like this whole, all the monsters, from the Goosebump books are unleashed one night and they all create havoc, like the Purge or something. You know, I'd rather see, the Haunted Mask be turned into a live action movie, or Stay Out of the Basement be turned into a live action movie, or A Night in Terror Tower turn into a live action film. I feel like any of those would have been better to remake live action movie wise rather than what they did uh, with I mean, I like the first Goosebump movie with Jack Black, but with the second movie, that's when you could tell they should have done something like that. Because I don't know the second one. Oh, geez. Um, did you ever like Ash versus Evil Dead? Yeah, I like Ash versus Evil Dead. That was good. Jester is an interesting idea, but it works as two films. Yeah, yeah. What do you mean by that, Jeremy? It works as two films. I love Goosebumps. Stay Out of the Basement is my favorite. I have a ton of questions. But please tell me what you won't talk about. Do you Jack Black Goosebumps one? Uh, I like the first Goosebumps movie with Jack Black. That's what I said. Yes, I don't like the second one. Uh, well, Jeremy, well, any questions to not ask me would be my personal life. Anything about my personal life, don't want to talk about. Um, as long as it's strictly based on my films and my art and all that stuff and my characters or and all that kind of stuff, then that's fine. Um, but like just my personal life, I really don't want to uh, get into it all. I mean, if we're talking about just like my films in general, I'd rather have a separate conversation, or a separate podcast about my personal life. But I don't want to talk about it. Uh, because then, if you talk about your personal life, then, someone in your life, is going to say something, and it's just no. Yeah, it's just no. Wouldn't be the time I like to talk about personal things right now anyway. Maybe some personal stuff, but no, not right now. And that's not what my question is I mean, that's not what my channel is about. So, all right, then Jeremy, then feel free to, ask a bunch of wild questions then, you know. I can't ask those questions because I can't even answer stuff about my personal life. Yeah, yeah. Um, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to the interview. Really looking forward to it. So how many of you are still on the live chat? How many are still watching? I see that there's 5 and there's 4 likes. So I got 4 likes and 5 view well, not views, 5 people that are tuning in right now. So I wonder how many are actually tuning in right now, or they're not tuning in anymore. I'm gonna wrap this up pretty soon. So around what time would you work what so around what time would work for you? Um, mm, Probably like in the evening on Monday, if that's fine. Monday evening, like 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Aaron's still here. Mario Mania 1 2 3 4 still here. Awesome. Sorry, Mario Mania. Anytime works. I'm out of work, so 6 or 7 definitely works for me. Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah. That'll be my first interview, first interview before like that. That'll be cool. I will keep my stream. Yes. Thank you guys for all your support. I really, really thank you guys for your support. Like it really means everything to me. Like that. Like that's just huge. You know. Like really thank you. Um yeah, because it's like I know I have an audience that'll watch my stuff when I get my next content out, you know? And I'm really, really grateful for that. That I have a fan base. I can't even believe that I have one. I to even be able to say I have a fan base is I never thought that was ever going to be a possibility. That was ever going to happen. I was hoping, and I remember everyone always seeing potential in me when I was growing up. They all knew that I was gonna get somewhere, and everybody would say to me, "You're gonna be in Hollywood one day, Ryan. You're gonna be in Hollywood. You're gonna be a Hollywood director." You know, you're gonna make it. You're gonna get there. Um, I remember there was people that said, you know, this guy's gonna be in Hollywood one day. This guy's gonna be making movies in Hollywood. Uh, so will that be a reality one day? I don't know. I don't know. um, yeah, but that's what everyone, a lot of people have said. Like, oh, you'll be a Hollywood movie director. Um, but I feel like I would still have to learn quite a bit before I would make movies on Hollywood level in terms of like how they're written, you know, and constructed. Um, I think I would have to learn more on a writing standpoint than directing standpoint. You know, if I was ever to do anything, make anything Hollywood. You know, uh, I've been here since 2011 too. Will always be. I've been here since like 2011. I've been here since 2011 too. Will always be here, Ryan. I grew up with you. Thank you guys. See, that's the world to me. You guys say stuff like that to me. If you go to Hollywood, take me laugh out loud. I know. That'll probably never happen, but you know, thankfully we have social media, so you know, I can always make my films in some way, some capacity. You know, eventually, you know, not anytime soon, but you know, in the future, if that becomes a possibility, if it becomes a possibility, you know, to have my own website, you know, and to be able to, you know, a website where you guys can all go to and you know watch my stuff on there, where it wouldn't be my own streaming service, but of course I would make it out to be it would be, you know, Ryan Plus, you know, RBR Plus actually sounds pretty good. RBR Plus, RBR Plus. I should do like a fan video of like if I had my own Netflix, you know, and like I have my movies all like in like a Netflix setup, you know, like what if I have my own Netflix? Actually, would be pretty funny. I'm not really trying to get my films big or try to become too big. I just like to make these films and have fun. Yeah, yes, same. Yeah. You know, if I get into Hollywood, cool, but I'm happy with what I'm doing. You know, I mean, as long as people get to see my films, they get to watch them, you know, and they get to comment. That's all that matters, you know. Um, you know, I'm always going to look for ways to express my art. You know, as an artist, I take that very seriously, and you know, I just don't want to ever stop my art. You know, whatever way. Excuse me. Sorry. In any way, you know, like I just don't want to um um I'm not gonna give up on my films, or so I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up on my art. I'm gonna always do something artistically. You know, at some point, I'd love to be an author. I would love to direct theater. You know, if of course if film doesn't go, you know, like Hollywood doesn't go, you know, good or whatever, which I already see it not going well. But you know, I have other you know, ideas of what I'd like to do, but you know, that's of course way in the future. You know, right now it's you know me, you know, getting this art out, these short films out, entertaining you guys, building that resume, and then working with my psychologists, you know, my doctors, on getting myself better and all that uh, as well. So, you know, because you guys know the PTSD is quite a struggle every day. It really is. Um, uh, and I have other things as well, but I don't really want to talk about it right now. Probably will in the future, but yeah. Mm. Okay, sorry. Everybody's on their phones now, right? I'm sure I'm not the only one on their phone. Yeah. Uh, so I'm gonna get off here about 10 minutes. About 10 minutes. I haven't had a live stream like this in a long time. Last live stream I had, I only had like a couple people on here, so it's great to have more of you guys on here. So I want to be able to at least talk for another 10 minutes on here or something. So if you guys got more questions for me, about whatever, feel free to ask. And yeah, yeah. Um, Making money would be great, but I'm not worried about it. Every time I think of the Scream series, I think of you. Oh, that's cool. Thank you. Getting ready to get some sleep. Good night, everyone. Talk to you on Monday, Ryan. All right. Talk to you on Monday, Jeremy. I'm looking forward to the interview. Um, it's gonna be really, really, really fun. And you were there on that last stream. Yes. So yeah. Can't wait for the interview. Can't wait to be on your podcast, Jeremy. So I hope you have a great Easter. Happy Easter and have a great rest of your weekend. Every time I think of the Scream series, think of you. Cool. Keep the stream. I was on there last time. I was conked out during your last stream. Laugh out loud. Sorry I couldn't make it. Nah, it's fine. I was streaming late anyway, so I wasn't expecting a bunch of people to join. I assume because like the coronavirus right now and everything, like there's more people available to talk. Because everyone's online on social media because we're all social distancing ourselves. In real life. So I figure more people are available to talk, you know, and I feel like live streaming is the best to do right now during the coronavirus, out of any time. So I thought, why not live stream? Um, yeah, Jeremy, I'm very excited for the podcast. I'm very excited for it. It's gonna be really, really, really cool. It's just because I've never been interviewed on a podcast before. Um, cool. I'm your fifth guest. All right, cool. So I'm not like it's not like I'm the first guest. That's cool. That's cool. So all right, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully it's not like a 5 minute little interview thing. Like hopefully it's a solid interview. Where it's like it goes on for a little bit, where I get to talk. You know, um, hopefully it's not like a little like you know 3 minute thing. When you go live, tell people on Twitter and Facebook, post it so they will know when you go live. Yeah, I will be sure to do that in the future. Uh, yeah, I believe I did that on my Twitter. I did that. I think I did that for. I did that tonight. I posted on my Twitter that I was going live. So, um, yeah, but yeah, yeah, definitely. I'll take your advice with the Facebook. Yeah, dude, these interviews have been almost at the 2-hour range. I ask a lot of questions, not just films or the art that people make. I try to have a conversation with them as well. That's cool. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. I think you can set a reminder on YouTube so all your subs will get a heads up. Yeah, I mean, I should do that as well because seeing it thing is sometimes I don't know if I'm going to do a podcast. Not sorry, I'm not. I don't know if I'm going to do a live stream or not on YouTube. Um, and so sometimes it's just like it's in my mind. I'll be like, maybe I can live stream tonight. Maybe I can. Yeah, I think I can bring myself tonight to do a live stream. Um, and that's usually when I do a live stream. I don't really like plan it a day ahead, 2 days ahead, but it's probably something I should do. That way, more people are aware, and I can actually have a conversation when I live stream. So I'll definitely be taking that in consideration more. The longest interview was 2 hours and 10 minutes. Wow. Well, the amount I talk, I'm sure I will break the record. Because once I start talking, I can't stop talking. Yes, Aaron, you are my friend. You all are my friend, guys. You guys are all my friends. Mario Mania, you're my friend. Jeremy, you're my friend. Yes. That was Adam Marcus, director of Jason Goes to Hell. How did you get Adam Marcus? How did you get Adam Marcus, Jeremy? By the way, I'm not. No, no, that was the director, right? I am not a big fan of Adam Marcus, by the way, at all. In fact, I think he's one of the reasons why Friday 13th is in the gutter. I think part of it is his fault. So I don't think I could interview him because it would be nonstop criticizing his film and his contribution to Friday the 13th. Adam Marcus is a chill dude. We got to talking one day and asked him. He's a chill dude, but he's a horrible filmmaker. That's the problem. But he now I'm looking forward to his director's cut that's coming out with the box set. You guys know that Friday 13th was that 4K box set's coming out. They're coming out with the Jason Goes to Hell director's cut, or unrated cut, which is exciting because if any movie would have an unrated cut with those films, it would be Jason Goes to Hell because we didn't get anything in that movie. That movie had no body count, no anything. So if that film, well, it did have a body, but it didn't have like Jason killing anybody. Maybe there is a deleted scene where Jason kills a character, in Jason form. You know, but uh, it'll be interesting. It gives me a reason to rewatch it. But it's not. It's too bad we're not getting an unrated cut of the original films because they released, I know, deleted scenes on the DVD and Blu-rays of like the effects, like why they had to cut certain effects out because it was too graphic. Um, it'd be cool to see those movies with the original gore. I would love unrated cuts for each Friday the 13th movie. I think it's BS that the worst entry in the series is getting that treatment out of all of them. A Halloween box set did it opposite. They gave us the producer's cut. They did exactly what they should do. They gave us the TV cut of Halloween 2, the TV cut of Friday the Third. No, sorry, the TV cut of the original Halloween, and not only that, they included it with the R-rated version of the original movie, so you didn't have to watch the TV cut unedited. Um, Well, it's a good get, Jeremy. Yeah, it is a good get. Like I say, keep the stream. I'm going to bed. All right, cool, Aaron. Anna Marcus recognized his movie is not great. Good. But we also talked about life, how he got into film. Yeah, he was a PA. He went from PA to that. Unbelievable. I don't know how he goes from PA to be the person in charge of Jason Goes to Hell to this day. How he got into filmmaking and how he got involved with Jason Goes to Hell. I didn't tell him that he's a bad filmmaker, but I did tell him that I didn't enjoy Jason Goes to Hell. I'm not forgetting about you, Aaron. Yeah, he really hurt the Friday 13th franchise, Adam Marcus. He really did. He really did. I'm surprised that there's certain people that do like it, when and if they do, it shows they're not Friday 13th fans because what Friday 13th is Jason chop 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 chop, last remaining survivor, chops Jason, you know. That's the movie. That's Friday 13th, you know. Not what that was, the whole body hopping, where Jason is like this slime bug and he goes into someone and goes into someone else and possesses their body, and then he has to find his sister and go into her for him to be in Jason form again. That is the stupidest writing I have ever heard of anything. See, that's why, Jeremy, you'd be better at being a podcast interviewer than me. Yeah, well, if you ever get to interview Keen Hodder, Jeremy, I'd ask him all about Freddy versus Jason. I think that would be my question. That would be my interview. The whole interview would be Freddy versus Jason. Ask him, would he come back? Would he come back as Jason? Has he tried to, bring the franchise back? Has he talked to any directors? I ask him all that stuff. How he felt about Ken Krusner's performance as Jason and Freddy versus Jason compared to his, especially that Jason X came out a year before Freddy versus Jason. I'd ask him those questions. Jason Goes to Hell is very bizarre. Laugh out loud. Yeah, it is very bizarre, and it's not even good bizarre. It's bad. It's just bad. I watched it and I'm like, "What is this?" Like it is so far from what Friday the 13th is, you know? I love interviews. Dan Farrens is my favorite interview so far. That's so cool you got to interview Daniel Farrens. That is so cool. That is really cool you got to interview him. That's really awesome. That's really awesome. See, if I wasn't making movies, I'd probably be doing what you're doing. It's probably like that the podcast thing. But, like, I have such bad anxiety, I would be so nervous to, like, interview celebs. Oh god, that'd be hard for me to do that, but, you know, um, hopefully Daniel Farrens comes back to Halloween because he's a good writer. Uh, you need to get Apple Music. Well, who says I don't have Apple Music, Aaron? Daniel Farrens was super open to any questions. He didn't answer some stuff, but he answered the majority of my questions. Yeah, because a lot went on with Halloween 6. I think it's stuff that's just so secretive and like they can never talk about it. I bet some stuff went into that movie that we would never imagine. You know? Yeah, Halloween 6, Daniel Farrens, Jeremy interviewed him. That's amazing how you get, you know, Jason Goes to Hell, you get Adam Marcus, you get Daniel Farrens. I mean, you get some people that have worked on that in that genre, you know? I mean, that worked with some big people. I mean, that's a big deal. Yes, I will keep my stream for the 15th time. It's crazy, I still can't believe that I was able to do it. Well, I'm proud of you, Jeremy. That would not be easy to interview Daniel Farrens, like that. I have a certain fondness for Halloween 6. Well, guys, Mario Mania. What did you think of the Curse of Thorn that I did with Halloween New Blood? Taking the tributes from Halloween 5 and 6, and putting that into New Blood, but also including elements from the new movie, all other Halloween movies. You could tell that I mixed all of the movies into one, even like Rob Zombie brutalness. Like, remember in the beginning of the movie, there's like that rock music that gets louder and louder as Michael's killing the dude, you know, and all that. Like, the brutality just in general of that film, the body count. I feel like New Blood is a mix of all the Halloween movies into one. Because I think I literally put elements from mostly every sequel in the movie. So um, I wanted it to be, uh, um, familiar, and kind of for it to stand on its own. You know. And then I think that was my kinda goodbye to Halloween, making any fan films or something, because I wanted to make the best I could make, and then kinda walk away from it. Um, I made so much Halloween stuff, so much Scream stuff, like, what else do I do, I mean, what other Halloween movies do I make, or Scream, or etcetera, you know? I mean, of course, I could make a bunch, and a bunch, and a bunch, but, I'd rather do my own original work. I don't want to um, if I'm doing one movie, if I'm making one film or something, out of a franchise that I haven't done before, then okay, or two, but I've already succeeded that limit of myself. So I've made six total Scream, movies, if you include the crossovers. And then Halloween, that's a total of five. So, I think I've done my part. Jeremy, you should interview Nev Campbell. Yeah, you should interview Nev Campbell, Jeremy. Get her on there and ask her everything about Scream 5. Ask her about Scream 6. Would she be down for doing like 10 more movies, 20 more movies? You know, um, I thought it was great. Most fan films don't touch that element of the series. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, because most fan films don't, and I don't know why. I assume the filmmaker thinks it's dumb, but I always wanted to see some filmmaker try to do something with the Curse of Thorn, and like kind of, you know redo it where it's like all that's there, the Curse of Thorn and the cult and all that, but can it be done a little differently? Can it be done better? Can it be maybe set up a different way? So I wanted to do that and be kind of maybe the first writer director of a fan film to do something like that, pull it off. Um, I'm not saying the first writer director of a fan film, but of a Halloween fan film that has the Curse of Thorn stuff, and to go into all that, and include those elements. Tommy Lee Wallace denied an interview, but we have talked. Kane Hodder wanted money. Oh, so Tommy Lee Wallace denied an interview, but you have talked to him. Tamara Glenn was super easy to get an interview scheduled, but my computer crashed. I haven't been able to reschedule. Oh, wow. Aaron Nev Campbell would be awesome, but it might be another Kane Hodder situation where they want money. Yeah, because I mean they're bigger celebs, you know, and they're about money. In that industry, we know those people are about money. You know, Daniel Farron's actually admitted to me that he's glad the bootlegs of the producer's cut went around because without them, they might not have been able to release it. Yeah, it's good those bootlegs came out because when those bootlegs came out, it skyrocketed. Everybody bought the producer's cut bootleg, and that's why the studio went ahead and cleaned it up, you know, and finally gave it to us. Had they would have done that, you know, 10 years ago, it would have been great, you know. Uh, but yeah, had those not have been leaked online, the producer's cut, then we would never have gotten it. So I forgot to tell you, Ryan, Halloween New Blood like part two to me. What do you mean like part two to me? What does that mean? Daniel Farrens was so nice. I want to interview Malaka Khan. Seemed like Malaka Khan would be an easy guy to interview. Try to get Daniel Harris in your interviews, Jeremy. Get Daniel Harris. Ask her how she feels how Blumhouse has treated her like crap for not including her in the new Halloween movies. Scream Factory series set was a miracle. I never thought they would release it officially. Yeah, it was so cool. The Halloween box set, the Scream Factory, and it had the producer's cut. It had like it was so cool, and the cases were like old school. They didn't have like orange on them or whatever. They were like hardcore original cases of the original movies. The posters. It was done really well. I'm really happy with that 35-year set, but I feel like they could. I think they're going to come out with a new box set, Scream Factory and all that. I think they're going to come out with a new box set after uh, Halloween ends. I think they'll come out with like a brand new, and it'll be like all of them will be in 4K. You know, and they'll do something probably really cool. I want to ask him about his relationship with the Weinsteins. That'd be a very good question. That'd be the question to ask anybody that's worked with the Weinsteins. I really want to interview Daniel Harris. Blumhouse has also treated Brian Andrews like crap, but he's not mentally stable to play in a movie. Yeah, that's sad. Well, so that makes a little more sense, you know. But like Daniel Harris, I don't understand that because she came back for the remakes. It just doesn't make sense, and she was great in those. I'd pay Daniel Harris, Jeremy, seriously, if you can get her. If you can get her, pay her. Yeah, I thought it was weird that they didn't recast Brian Andrews as to play Tommy. Yeah, I mean, I understand six that didn't work, and I don't. I think because the studio didn't like his acting, or something. There was something that went on. And I think it's something that is like they don't talk about. It must have been something bad. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know what that whole thing is, but I will say Paul Rudd did a really great job as Tommy Doyle, and I almost sort of wish that they would have brought Paul Rudd back for Halloween Kills. Because I know he's doing all the Ant-Man stuff and all that, but I think it would have been great for him to have had a cameo or something in Halloween Kills as, Tommy Doyle. I think that would have been pretty cool. Um, and, to see something like that. Um, but, I always wanted to see the original guy who played Tommy to come back, um, you know, Brian Andrews, but, uh, I've definitely read some information about it. It seems like it's not a possibility, but it would have been something really cool to see. It would have been really cool. But yeah, everybody seems to have a lot of confidence in Anthony uh, Michael Hall, and I'm sure he'll do a good job. I mean, he better, you know. I know Daniel Harris has said that if she played Jamie in Halloween 6, she wouldn't have done the Rob Zombie Halloweens. Yeah, I know that's the thing. If she would have done Halloween 6, then she wouldn't have done the remakes. And that's something to always think about. Yeah. But I remember being really mad and confused as a kid when I saw Halloween 6 and Daniel Harris wasn't in it. I was really confused. And then I thought the actress they got looked old, like way older, looked nothing like her, sounded nothing like her. It felt like I was watching a different character. I didn't even feel like I was watching Jamie. I think that was the problem with the movie was that it just didn't feel like Jamie. It felt like a different actress playing a different character. Um, and so, and even though the actress, I mean, JC Brandy, she's cool, and all that, it's just too bad, it's just too bad that the studio and everyone that worked on Halloween 6, you know, didn't think all that stuff through better, you know. Um, and then what we do know in one of Daniel Farron's original drafts is that Jamie didn't even die, that she lived, and at the end with the "Come with us," that was Jamie. That I have some unfinished business to attend to here, that was Jamie. That was gonna be that was in the original script. Then they changed it. I couldn't imagine if they wouldn't have messed with Daniel Farron's writing, from how it was originally. If they only would have changed just only such a little bit, you know, what could have been. I know Daniel Harris has said that if she played Jamie in Halloween, so Paul Rudd was approached to play Tommy Doyle in Kills, but was busy filming Ghostbusters. That's right, they are filming that movie. I forgot that they're filming that movie. Um, well, hopefully it's good. I loved her in the remakes. I want to interview most of the cast of Halloween 5. Yeah, I think you probably could get like most people from Halloween 4 and 5 interviewed. And Halloween 2. If you get people from Halloween 2 or 4, the ones that were interviewed like on Scream Factory, the ones that are cool that actually, will that actually care about the series and will do an interview, um, I'd ask the people that care, not the ones who don't, that request extreme amounts of money. Daniel Farrens was very upset they couldn't get Daniel Harris back. He opened up a lot about his drafts. He even said there's stuff that no one knows about Halloween 6. Yeah, like I'm sure he had ideas that were really great, but because she wasn't involved, you know. Tamara Glenn from Halloween 5 was scheduled, but my computer crashed and we just haven't been able to reschedule. Get a new computer, Jeremy. That's the second time your computer's crashed. And you've had like, two you've had a Friday 13th with Star, Halloween Star, being able to interview them. Oh, Or fix your computer. I mean, whatever computer you have. I mean, geez, you know, I mean, you have to have a more reliable computer if you're going to be doing if you're going to be a podcaster. You know, I got a new computer, but time just wasn't available. She was working on some movie called Terrifier 2. Oh, well, it's cool that you get to do all that, Jeremy. I'm really looking forward to being on your podcast. Um, you know, and the fact that you know, look at me as like, you know, like someone famous, you know, like that, you know, that I'm some celeb or something. I appreciate that. Um, you know, but at the same time, you know, like I'm your friend, you know, and you know, yeah, it's cool. It's really cool that you're, you know, because I know that you try to make movies all the time. I remember back when I was making, you know, Destiny of a Ghost Face and all that. You know, you made all these like small movies that were kind of you would just film nothing. You would just be filming trees, and that was it. You know, I don't know if that was just testing your camera, really, or something. But a lot of movies that you would make, you would just film absolutely nothing, and nothing would be happening in the movie, or you would get an actress in it, and she wouldn't know how to act. You know, and it would just be kind of like, you know, they weren't the best movies, you know, but you definitely have gotten better as time has gone on. But it sounds like this podcast whole thing sounds more down your alley than filmmaking because it definitely seems more like a hobby to you than something very serious. Because I've seen you take your movies not seriously before, so I wanted to get Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp, but she's always busy. That would be interesting. I have to interview Friends too. That's cool, Jeremy. Laugh out loud. I remember that. I still work with that actress, but I still had a lot of fun. Okay. Well, I mean, I hope to see a movie from you, Jeremy, one day. You know, where you make a movie like mine, even if it's like 3 minute movies, 4 minute movie. I want to see like multiple cuts. You know, like you know, and like a film. You know, like I want to see something that is very something that doesn't feel very fan made or feels like a fan made, you know? Oh, I am in one of those newer movies. Yes, that's right. You're working on them. I'm excited. I'm still a bit. I'm wait. Like it's kind of nerve wracking sometimes. I'm wondering like how am I gonna be in that movie? That the footage that you know that I shot for him and sent him. And then I remember trying to send you all that footage of me, and that was I was remember I was like sending you multiple files because I wanted you to get the best quality of the video as possible, you know, without you know, I didn't want you to like have like a bad quality video or something, you know. Um, so yeah, yeah, but if the quality is like bad, definitely let me know because like if you want me to redo the scene where like I'm on the phone talking to one of those characters, uh, um, you know, just let me know. Um, but yeah, I tried to send you the best camera quality, you know, as I could. So is it good enough quality, or would you rather me try to send you, you know, a better, you know, version of the video, like better quality? Um, I don't know necessarily how that would work with like, is there like a Google Drive link I could send you or something? Because I'm just not good with this cloud stuff. And then Yahoo, you know, only allows 20 megabytes, which is a joke. I want my movies to always have a very raw feel, so honestly, bad quality isn't always a bad thing. Okay, yeah, but, whatever I can do, to make the quality of your videos, I mean, it's something that I'm in, I don't want the quality to be poor, you know? Well, I'm willing to send you a better video file of it, as long as I can find out a way how. Um, yeah, I'll send you a message, and, and all that, but when do you plan to release that movie that I'm in? Oh, it's already on your channel? Where have I been? Yeah, I appreciate it. That'd be really great, Jeremy, if you can send me a message to my Facebook, you know? Yeah, it'd be awesome. I'd love to watch it. Um, yeah, and, always let me know, if you need me to star in one of your movies again, a character, let me know. I'll even if you need me to set up 2 cameras, and, like, film something even a little more professional, you know, um, let me know. Um, 'Cause that's cool. It's cool what you're doing. But, whatever I'm in, you can't make money off of, like, whatever I'm in, though. Like, what I do is nonprofit, so there's reasons why I can't make money, um, through this way. Uh, so, um, it has to be nonprofit, Jeremy, whatever you're doing, if I'm going to be participating. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, always let me know. Um, well, that's my live stream. It's almost going on 4 hours. The live stream. I can't even believe I made it to 3 hours and 50 minutes. Um, I have 4 people watching me, which is cool, and 5 likes. Uh, no one else is really talking in the live chat except Jeremy. So don't know if anybody else was in here. Anybody want to talk about anything else? I will definitely let you know. I don't make money. I never make money from anything. Good night, Ryan. It was great talking to you, Mario Mania. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. Um, uh, if you guys have anything else to say about, what I'm doing right now, you know, with my films or anything like that, I'd love to hear anything more. Do you guys like Insane series? Do you guys, did you guys like The Devil Servant? Like, I mean, was it the first one that good where you're excited for the sequel, you know? Because, I just don't want to make films where, you guys aren't interested in it, because, yeah, to get a bunch of dislikes, would suck. That's awesome, Jeremy. Appreciate your support. Yeah, anybody like to say anything else right now? They can. I'm gonna get off here. Like 2 more minutes. Oh, be sure to check out your interview with Jeremy. Okay, well, Jeremy, should I make a video on my channel to let people know that I was on a podcast and then post the link in the description? Like how should I do this? Like, I'm sure Jeremy, you're gonna want an audience. Like, you want people to my subscribers to hear the interview. Um, so I have to figure that out. Like, how am I gonna get the word out to you guys, right? Do I make a video, right? Just make a video? Um, I assume so. Yeah. Yeah, I assume that's the best way. So, would I be able to put like a 30-second sample of the interview? Just to give a sneak peek of what it's like, so when people, listen to it, they're like, "Oh, okay." Kinda like a little like a tease? Okay. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, well, I'm getting off the live chat, guys, the live stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Happy Easter, everybody. Hope you all have a great Easter. Keep social isolating yourself from the world. Curl up in a ball and be away from everybody. Would you ever think that people would tell you to, social distance yourself, to not go anywhere, to not be around people, you know? But yeah, everyone have a great Easter, and hope everyone stays safe. I hope everyone's family is safe. I hope no more people get infected or die from this, and that our world gets better. We'll all get through this, guys. Good night. Stay safe, everyone, and have a good Easter. I'll talk to you later. Talk to you later, Mario Mania. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have a great Easter. Everyone have a great Easter. And that's my live stream. This was awesome, guys. This was an awesome live stream. And this was great. Absolutely great. Um, yep, yep. Glad you guys enjoyed it. And I will talk to you all very, very soon. All right. Peace.